Right, bro.
Welcome to Liberty and Consciousness, promoting liberty through consciousness expansion. A lot of things been going on. I'm Kareem Mays, your host, with my co-hosts Jake and Max. Today we got two topics, and they're really relevant. Going to get their opinion on it. I think we have different opinions, so it'll be interesting. First one, I just want to talk about the Georgia runoff real quick. So I guess Warnock and Ossoff, I don't know how you pronounce them exactly, won. To me, people had different opinions. Some people did say it was because of Dominion or change in ballots. However, it could have been also that they gave them the economic advantage of the $2,000, which we talked about this with Davies Words and Numbers and James last episode, that unfortunately people don't see this coming, and they just say, I'd like the instant money now, as opposed to getting the thing. And I'm more agreeing with Jake that that's what happened. There may have been some there, because I looked into it. There may have been some switching here and there, but I'd say overall people said, well, I need a $2,000 check. Mitch McConnell blocked it, and I just can't work with the GOP anymore. So I'll just get your thoughts on that.
Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. So here's what I think happened. I think, as always, politics has some fraud. You're always going to get some fraud in an election. It's kind of odd that 2 Senate seats are up for grabs. That's not a normal thing. And so with everything that happened before, I don't think it would have happened at the same scale like it did in the national election. But if you go around 11:30 and you start looking at the votes on the graph, if you go around 11:30, that's when they're opening up the mail-in votes. And of course, as soon as they open up the mail-in votes, it's all Democrats, right? So you're going to get like literally a 100% jump where it's only Democrats. Don't know why. This is in Fulton County, by the way. I'm speaking about Fulton County, which was never investigated besides within Georgia by the Secretary of State. Trump asked to investigate it. They were like, nah, we ain't going to give you Fulton County. We'll give you a different county. And so there's a lot of skepticism. That's where the major video came out, where the lady had the ballots under the table, sent everyone home. This is Fulton County. So is there fraud? Of course there's fraud. Big deal. Whatever. You got to fraud your own opponent too. That's kind of how it is these days. We don't live in a fucking real democracy. We're where we're at. And it is what it is. So Warnock is this right, Jacob? Warnock is this guy who likes Fidel Castro, invited him to his church. I saw a video about that. That's an interesting one. I thought it was fake news because his opponent, Loeffler, the inside trading bitch. So that bitch right there, inside trading, right? Oh, Corona's happening? Okay. Anyway, so she's pointing out that he's got Fidel Castro. These are our options. Hold on. These are our options in Georgia. Could you imagine being in Georgia? I got this one over here who's doing inside trading. I got this one over here who's got fucking Fidel Castro at the fucking church. Like, bro. And then you got Ossoff or Perdue. I don't know too much about Perdue. Again, he's a multimillionaire. He's like out of touch with reality in American lives. And then you got Ossoff, who's exactly a spitting image of Barack Obama down to the last fucking T. This guy never got anywhere besides by speaking and rhetoric. Like, that's all he knows how to do. He's a great speaker. And he uses the same gestures Barack Obama does. So that's what they got. So of course there was some fucking fraud, bro. But what are you gonna do about it, man? Run up on the Capitol and Yeah,
I understand. No, I actually get my decent part of my income from speaking and rhetoric. So I do think that's important to be able to communicate ideas. However, I guess my fundamental question is this, because I was looking at your guys' Facebook posts and tweets and stuff like that.
I'm blocked, bro. I don't know who you. I'm blocked for 3 days. I posted one meme on the Capitol run-in. It was me having a boner over it. That's that, and they were like, "Oh, block them." 5 seconds after, I'm blocked, bro.
Yeah, I know they do that. It's ridiculous. No, I was just looking, and you said you went to sleep, and then you think they did whatever they did. I don't transfer stuff, whatever they did. So I guess my fundamental question is this. Yes, there was some, whatever you want to call it, irregularities, cheating, what that went on.
Fraud.
My thing is this. If that hadn't happened, let's just say it was completely free and fair and no issues, would Purdue and Lossoff won, or was it because they were upset with the current GOP establishment? Or because I hear a lot of different opinions. I don't live in Georgia. I actually didn't really research these too much. The only thing I really saw is people didn't like Warnock because I guess he's a minister and he was pro-choice or something, which to me, I can debate that, but it's not like the
So understand if they would have won or not if it was all fair and square. You got to understand the election laws, and every state has different election laws, right, Jacob?
So all these states are going to have their own election laws. With Georgia in particular, they changed their election laws in the last since 2000. I think it was.
And how did they change it?
Laws. What's up?
How did they change their election laws?
They just changed. Well, a lot of the changes they made was via bench laws with the judges and stuff. But yeah, I mean they changed it in a lot of ways.
But
this would be a whole podcast all on its own. But
is the election law? Can the election laws be changed by a judge, or does it have to happen by the legislative body?
Okay, theoretically.
No, constitutionally. I'm only talking Constitution.
Well, that's the thing. The Constitution isn't always applied. Judges, see, this is a whole philosophical debate I could have. Judges are mini kings. They can upend the Constitution. Look at Pennsylvania if you want proof. With their own Secretary of State and their own Supreme Court violating their own Constitution, no one gave, and their state legislature gave zero fucks. Okay? So that's a perfect example of they don't even have to. Their judges are mini kings. They're not judges. So anyway, back to Georgia. So they had this plan for a long time in 2018, because this happened in Texas. I found this out yesterday. So the reason why the Beto O'Rourke race was so close with Ted Cruz, it has to do with the USPS mail ballot drop-offs, like where they have these little drop stations and they do like mail-in ballots. I didn't know there was mail-in ballots in Texas in 2018. I guess there was. Don't ask me. In certain counties, I guess they had it certain. They didn't have it like all over Texas. I didn't know this. The Texas GOP found out about it. Plus, they had Dominion voting in Texas. I didn't know none of this stuff. Okay, they got a hold of this crap and they swatted it down and cleaned up their whole election game. And we've seen Texas had a clean election. Yeah. Texas has 2.5 times the population of Georgia, and they got their election done the same night. Florida has double the population of Georgia. And what's funny is if you go to the bellwether counties, Ohio, Texas, Florida, they all voted very similar if you adjust for demographics. Georgia was all way off. And what's funny is it has to do with those USPS drop boxes, because there's no chain of custody, and it's written into their election laws in Georgia. And that's right. Guess what? When you go to challenge their election laws in a court case where you go see what I call a mini king, not a judge, it happens to go to the judge that happens to be Stacey Abrams' sister. So, and you got the Secretary of State. He calls himself a Republican. He's really a rhino. He will not allow any investigation. So it's a complete cover up to see there's no transparency whatsoever with what happened. But what's funny is all this theft is legal by our legal system. Again, judges can violate constitutions. They are not obliged to uphold the Constitution whatsoever. Again, you guys want proof? Look at Pennsylvania. The Supreme Court violated their own Constitution. No one can stop them. No one can stop them.
Now, just because like a judge would know if it's constitutional or not, and you're saying they could twist and turn it and they're acting like a king.
Any excuse will do. They're a king. Any excuse will do.
That's why it was actually up to the legislatures to sue them and bring them to Supreme Court and not Trump, right?
But then Alito kicked it right back. This is what happened. It did go to Supreme Court. That Pennsylvania case did go to Supreme Court, and then they kicked it back and said, hey, this is a state's issue. It's not a freaking...
Wash their hands of it.
Exactly. So it was kind of a perfect storm. But see, this is how I want to give the devil its due. And I don't mean they're literal devils, but I have to give the left their due. They really did their homework and said, how can we, if we can't win in the ballot box, how can we arrange and finesse the rules where we can get away with this? They figured it out with the courts and certain judges. Also, with the way the elections are held, they use these buzzwords like ballot access, and plus they capitalized on the coronavirus shutdowns. The coronavirus shut down these states. Oh, no, you don't want to get sick of the virus. We'll have mail-in voting. And guess what? Republican legislatures agreed to all of it. So it falls on them. It falls on them. So that's why I don't let the Republicans off. They were just as complicit in this as the Democrats because they allowed a lot of this.
Because, the big corporations are making money on the lockdown. So they're like, okay, we'll let this lockdown happen. And then it fucked them in the election anyway. But, what's even more interesting is where all the money came from. Right? Like all this money came from the California. It was big donors in California for Ossoff
and tech money. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm not trying to spread misinformation and a conspiracy theory, but I guess Mark Zuckerberg has, and this is common info. I've seen this in several websites, that he has some kind of a super PAC or some kind of a fund where he pays off judges. Now, I can't prove this with beyond a reasonable doubt, but there might be, and this is pure speculation and conjecture on my part. I think that might have had something to do with these judges not wanting to take these cases.
Kareem, look
out. What's that?
Kareem, look up what he's saying, Facebook or Zuckerberg.
So Zuckerberg had, go ahead if you want, Kareem, look it up. I mean, I can look it up right now, but there's some kind of hack or something he has where he uses that money to pay off judges. But it's in such a way where they're not directly bribing the judges. They're funding their campaign, or they're funding, I don't know the clarity. I don't have too much clarity. They're funding their re-election campaign, or they're funding something with these judges. Basically, it's a legal bribe, in other words.
Right. So
all the stuff they're doing is all legal. Like these judges, I did not know this. How naive of me. I did not know judges can violate their own Supreme Court based on their own interpretation. And there is no obligation they have to take any case. Supreme Court, if they would have had 4 dissenters, they would have had to, but they only had 2.
I think they're supposed to go by previous cases. But
nope, they don't have to. I found out they don't have to. Nope. They can say they have to have an excuse, like a technicality, or they have to have, you don't have standing. And judges can make up any excuse they want to not hear a case. They don't have to hear it.
We're on Fox. So this says that Zuckerberg and some Chinese lady.
That's his wife.
To donate. Oh, that's his wife. Married. All right. That's cool. So he donated additional $100 million to support election officials. So an additional. That means more than $100 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you got money like that, What's it read over him? Kind of small. I can't tell. Turn my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna change this. One thing I do want to say is, I looked at the candidates briefly. To me, I wasn't a fan really of anybody or anything running there. They both are gonna inflate the dollar. They're both, in my opinion, going to.
Bro, hold on. They did 300 million the month before, plus another. Bro,
yeah,
that's 400 million. This is only in Georgia.
Yeah.
No, scroll up. What is this? This is everywhere. Where is it?
This
is to this one place, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What's it?
The Center for Tech Life.
Voting equipment, okay, which included voting equipment, personal protective equipment, and poll workers, as well as hiring additional poll staff. So basically, he gave them all this fucking money to the Center for Tech Life, Civic Life, to run the operation the way it was ran.
Yeah.
Wow. Must be nice having 400 million on the side and shit.
And then, of course, Zuckerberg says, those are false. These funds will serve the community through.
Yeah, it fucking it served it well. This is what it dished up, what we got today.
Yeah. And this wasn't even hard to just clear. I just typed it in.
The Fox News. I'm sure there's more on this. not just Fox.
See?
That's interesting, dude.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to comment real quick on Warnock and Loeffler and Purdue and Ossoff. So this was an expensive race. And by the way, the Georgians, dude, the few people I talked to from Georgia, they hated all their options except for the blacks. The African American community, they came out hard for Warnock, but everybody else, I mean, of course, like the Hollywood like type of liberals that live in Atlanta, like the Hollywood to Atlanta transplants, they were crazy about Ossoff. Oh, he's like Obama, and they were campaigning.
I mean, Ossoff is like bro. You know, when you meet a guy, he could talk you into anything.
Yeah, you're right. Ossoff, he does
awesome.
have that. You're right, man.
If you don't know what the fuck's going on, he's gonna sell you something, man. You know what I mean? He's gonna fucking sell. Don't know. Because he sounds so good. He knows when to pause. He knows, bro. He's doing neuro-linguistic programming on your ass, and you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is fucking in your brain, bro. He's fucking your subconscious while he's talking to your conscious brain.
I have a prediction. If we can keep this America running afloat and we don't fail and destroy ourselves, I predict he'll be a presidential candidate within 2 or 3 election cycles. I mean, dude, he's got it. Like he's got it. Like that Ossoff guy. And what's funny is he's a documentarian. He's not even like a businessman or like a lawyer or anything like that. Dude, he's a documentarian. He's a very gifted individual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's in the Senate. Think about that, bro. Listen, bro, the Senate costs money. All right, you're not getting.
That was one of the most expensive Senate races in U.S. history. There was a ton of money in that race.
Right. I mean, just to because the average, I think, for a House of Representatives, a seat there is about 10 million. Okay. Yeah. So that's just the average there. So the Senate is way more. It's got to be at least. I mean, look, we got this dude blowing 400 million just to fucking set up shit. Like, you know, Zuckerberg and his wife Jackie Chan over there fucking setting up shit. So there. Wow. But yeah, he's good. He's a talker, bro. I like, bro. You know who was like that? Newt Gingrich. Man, that guy could just fucking talk you into anything, bro. That son of a bitch. He's old now.
That dude's a cuck today, but you know, well, he's not in the discussion right now. But yeah, that dude, he made some PC remarks about how, Mike Pence did the right thing and he followed his heart and the Constitution. Shut up, you sorry son of a.
After he got the job from Trump to fucking get.
Yeah, after he secured his job in Pentagon or whatever the hell. Yeah, that's what dude. And
they all said we'll help you, and they fucked him in the end.
with politicians, check it out, with politicians and with, well, I'll just say politicians in general. Oh, they'll also say judges too. Judges, any excuse will do. There's no principles. It's whatever their governing thought process is or their ideological wheelhouse. Dude, they will tell you whatever it is. They'll be a communist one day, a Nazis the next day. They'll be hardcore, like friggin'. They'll be like, they'll be like Hayek one day. They'll be like Ayn Rand. They'll be like Ayn Rand one day. Dude, they will be anything you want. The moment they secure what they want, then the real them comes out.
They're not loyal.
Those people, man. Dude, I gotta say this as a side note. This has to be the most red-pilling election in American history. Now that we have access to share information and such, and the media can't censor everything because people have, they have these digital devices where they can do their own recording. I got to say, man, this was a massive red pill for everybody. Like this,
you know what it is.
People up.
Weeks it feels like that, bro. It's like you get another red pill. It's just like, oh my gosh, every 2 weeks there's something huge.
You just don't realize how fake these people are until like they actually get caught in their own words. Like, dude, these people are cardboard cutouts. With a pull string, and you flick a nickel on the ground like they're big donors, and they'll dance any kind of dance you want, dude. They'll foxtrot for you. They'll freaking do any kind of little waltz. They'll do any kind of dance as long as you flip that nickel for them. Dude, these people are so fake, man. Like, I can't believe Pence, man. This is where another thing. This is going off topic a little bit. Pence, dude. You thought he would side with Trump, dude. It turns out he was an anti-Trumper the whole time. I just found out today.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you, like, constitutionally, I'm reading Article 2, Paragraph 3.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see where he's allowed to like by himself object like they were saying, right? I
Yeah.
didn't see. I'm reading it, and it's old English. I get it, but like it's not really old English, but it's an older English, right?
Sure.
I don't. I read it a couple times. I don't see him how he has that sole power, so I don't understand like what he was gonna do. I think also it's because
He
that's
does have it. He does have it. If you interpret the 12th Amendment, yes, he does have the power.
12th
Kick it back to the state legislators. Yeah, he does. He actually does. Go back to the 12th Amendment. He actually does. He could have forced the issue. He could have forced it. He didn't though.
When did they ratify the 12th? That's an interesting one.
Oh, back in like just right after the founding of the republic. Because they had the Bill of Rights. That was the first 10. No. I'm sorry. It was after the Civil War, I think, because they had the
No.
No, they had the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Damn,
Right.
that's a good question. I don't know. But anyway, we were talking about Georgia. I'm sorry, I took us way off topic here. We were talking about Georgia and the elections and Warnock, and an interesting one, Kareem and Max and everyone listening, is African Americans voted 90% for Warnock. 90% on the exit poll. 90%.
Here's the thing.
What voting block is that reliable? There is no voting block in this country more reliable than the black person to vote for another black person. That's a Democrat, that is.
That has to do with him being a church guy, right? What is he, a minister or preacher, whatever?
Yeah, minister, I believe.
I think that has a lot to do with that because the southern blacks are heavy Christians. They're not. There's some. I told you guys this last time. I think I was out in Atlanta. There was a BLM out there. It was all a bunch of white fuckers. Just really just Antifa who were like carrying BLM signs, right? And then I passed by this church, and it's just black people in nice clothes, dressed up, and they're shooting a video talking about like injustice also. But see, there's two ways of doing it. There's one way of doing it in a peaceful manner, like these folks who are in the church, And I'm telling you, the blacks are in the church. So not only is he black, Warnock, but he's a preacher in the church. Like that sells double as hard, I think that played on the southern vote right there, and even. Especially, I mean, I'm telling you, those people culturally are conservative, but it's hard to get away from voting for a preacher. He's a man of God, and like that's what it is, right? They say about Trump all the time. Oh, Trump.
I want you to stop and think about that. 90%, dude. There is no voting block that can is that solid, like lockstep, dude. Whites for any political party, they're not that reliable. Hispanics aren't that reliable. Dude, there is no voting block just so reliable, like 90%.
Wait, question, Jake. Let me throw this back to you.
Reliable to like what? Like reliable to what? It was their first black senator.
But what I'm saying is like no, I think no. Did Herman Cain come out of Georgia? No, I don't think Herman Cain came out of Georgia. He came out of some other state.
He was a businessman. He wasn't even a senator.
Yeah, he wasn't a senator. I think he was he wasn't a governor. He was a.
He was
just a businessman. Yeah, you're right. He was just a businessman. I'm not comparing, but I mean, I'm just thinking in terms because I'm obsessed with like numbers, like voting blocks, and who. I'm obsessed with these exit polls and like what demographics vote what direction and such. And I mean, I was amazed, man. And the New York Times, I hate the New York Times, but dude, they're actually really good at keeping track of this data. I was stunned when I seen. I can see 70%, dude, 90%. Dude, whites don't even vote for Trump in that high of a number. I think whites vote for Trump like a 60% number, or 55%. Dude, 90%, dude.
They had another white guy.
No, dude, when you're getting millions of people, like that is a respect. Well, not millions. He pulled a couple 100,000, but dude, that is such a respectable accomplishment, dude, to pull one voting block that heavy, dude. Women politicians don't even get women to vote for him that heavy. Dude, there is no politician that can pull that solid of a block, dude. I'm sorry, that demands respect.
I need JoJo to pull that solid of block if she does 2020.
Dude, 90. Dude, if you have Hillary Clinton or Sarah Palin or any woman that runs, they can't even pull freaking.
Bro,
they can't even pull 70% of women.
Candidates you're talking about right now. We're talking about Sarah Palin, and fuck, bro, that's one of the weakest vice presidential
Well,
candidates in
Well,
human
I'm just trying to
history.
think of someone recently. Like, think of so think of that lady in
Fucking
South Dakota. Okay, think of
Alaska.
Noelle in South Dakota, dude. She doesn't even pull 80% of the women in her own state, dude. She pulls like 70% of the women in her own state.
Maybe women prefer men leaders, you know.
Well, but all I'm saying to you, dude, is for a vote in terms of a voting block, dude. 90%. That is such an accomplishment, man.
Wait. Okay, I'll give Warnock props. You know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. Props on that. He did good. But yeah, one thing I totally agree with Max. He's a preacher. He's a minister. In my opinion, him and Ossoff are very, very good at rhetoric. And that's, to me, you have to sell. To me, everything
Sure.
is selling in life. Everything's selling.
It is. You're right, man. It is.
You can say, like, well, it's not making money. Well, you're convincing someone why you should be able to get their ideas over somebody else's. So he's good at selling.
He's good at stuffing the ballot. That's what he's good at doing.
I wasn't gonna go there, but I let you do it.
90%. Yeah, we were.
Wait, one more thing. Here's the thing. I know people for a fact. I mean, there's meme makers, in my opinion, tell me what direction the culture is going. And let's just face it. People are not thinking like, well, the Federal Reserve is going to do quantitative easing if they know what that is. And this $2,000 is going to hurt me. They're thinking this. I can't pay bills next month. I can't get my business. I can't do that. Mitch McConnell, you know, him and his party. And I don't like Mitch McConnell. I was joking about throwing the twisted tea at him. Yeah, he's as bad as Pelosi, if not worse, because he lies about being a free market dude. I don't know why Kentuckians chose him over Brad Barron. What are you doing in Kentucky? All that being said, fine. He didn't want to put out the $2,000 checks. People got mad, and then I think
because Chuck Schumer promised it. Chuck Schumer promised it, and that's why they wanted to go that direction. You're right. Chuck Schumer threw that out there and said, "I'll get you that $2,000. Vote for these two senators. Dude, he's already saying it's going to happen. He's already.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Like, you're thinking, I need to make rent. Let's say, even irrespective of your origin, your religion, your gender, religion, where, you know, the console you like to play games on. And if you do, if someone comes and says, hey, if I say, Max, if you vote for this guy, I'll give you $2,000. I'll give you $5,000.
No,
even like,
no, I fucking said, bro. And here's why I wouldn't take it. Everybody's going to take it because they don't think that there's strings attached. But nothing's free, bro.
Nothing's free. There's no free lunch.
Understand about that $2,000 is they're going to give you that money so you can shut the fuck up and stay home for 30 days. That's what they're going to fucking get you with. They're going to pay you to be a fucking little surf bitch.
You're right, Max. You're right. Preach, bro.
That's what they're going to fucking do, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's what they got people with. People are saying, I'm struggling, help me. And then this Mitch McConnell guy blocked it, which Mitch McConnell,
bro,
total swamp.
I honestly, bro, who's struggling? Who the fuck is struggling, bro? Unemployment took everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking say no to one fucking person out there. Who the fuck is struggling, bro? They took anyone. Listen, they took everybody. Unemployment took everybody.
Yeah, but
who the fuck is struggling? I don't know. The big owner struggle. Bro, that 2,000 ain't gonna fucking help no business owner. They're already out of business.
Okay, but whoever it is, here's what happened in my
Max is on something, man.
Schumer came out, said $2,000, vote for these guys, and I think a lot of people went, okay, fine. Even if I'm not struggling, here my thought process is with their thought process. I'm trying to think through like their lens. Bro, people never do that.
Exactly it, bro. You're right. They want the $2,000 because it's $2,000 that they don't have.
$2,000. That's what they're thinking.
$3,000. They don't understand that there's a few strings attached. One, that they're gonna fucking lock us down if you get that money, and that it is what it is there. And number two, that the valuation of the currency. A lot of people don't understand that inflation devalues the currency. And so what happens is now, as soon as you get this $2,000, in reality, you're kind of getting like, I mean, dude, first off, they passed two bills like this before, right? The first time they fucking lost a shitload of money, they sent 10 million to dead people. Okay. So 10 million to dead people didn't just go into the fucking ground in the caskets. Believe me, that 10 million somewhere fucking being spent. The second fucking bill, the $908 billion, they lost 31 billion to fraud. They don't know how. And now we're talking about doing another one. Okay, the 10 million to Nepal, 700 million here to this fucking shit show of a cut. Now we're talking about doing it again. Like, bro, is $2,000 really worth it? Like, is 2,000 really worth your freedom?
I don't.
Of the currency and the fucking we're putting the nails in the coffin of this country, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to their thought. I'm honestly, I say, the idea.
No, you're not arguing for it. I know that. I just want anyone who's out there who thinks they need these $2,000.
No, they don't.
Bro, you do not need these $2,000. It's not bad, bro. You don't.
Okay, so
me,
I gotta say this though. A good rebuttal to that is if you're in a blue state that's like way pro lockdown. Not in my state, Texas, where we're pretty much open. Like you have to wear masks and stuff, but like it's pretty much open. But some of these people that live in like these heavy blue counties and blue states, dude, they can't just go to work. So I mean, for those people, but that's what means testing's for. Like you don't just give out 2,000 indiscriminately to everybody. That's why you means test everybody, because it's like,
bro, they can't, dude. They can't figure.
I know they can't, but I'm just saying, like, don't even do it then. But the one rebuttal I'd have is, dude, there really are people struggling through no fault of their own. Like, I mean, literally no fault of their own. Dude, the government said no, Raymond, no.
Like, I think
no, you have to stay home and you can't work because we're afraid of this Wu flu.
But let's analyze this for a second, because let's say like it's a guy like me who doesn't have their own business, right?
Yeah.
Well, it did. It kicked my ass, but I went on employment and boom, I got money from there, and then I got a job as soon as the market opened. Okay, no big deal. So there you go, right? So there was always money to be made, right? It's not like the market just completely fucking crashed 100%. There was money to be made. People were ordering food like never before. Unemployment was there. There was all these things. So people who were really hurting are the people whose businesses had to shut down, right? So like down the street from me, a little Italian.
Hourly workers too. Out like retail workers, warehouse workers, dude, they got screwed, man. They got construction workers, too. Construction workers, they all got freaking, well, in certain states, they all got screwed, man. They got screwed.
I'm sure they fell behind on their bills. I'm not saying they didn't, because unemployment doesn't give you 100%, right? And every state's unemployment. Like in New Jersey, for me, it was good because, like, bro, the federal 600 plus New Jersey's, I was making $1,100 just doing shit. I was literally just working out, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm turning it, bro. This socialism ain't that bad, bro. But like, bro, I at the same token, I'm like, dude, this can't go on forever. I'm like, you kind of like day like just sucks for a while. Like you got no purpose, etc. Like you're not working for it. And again, I could go make more money. I could go make more money in the market. Some people can, some people can't. But I could have made more money in the market, than $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year. So if I go to work, I could make more. So there's that. So the thing is these $2,000, bro. They're gonna make a lot of mistakes to give us these $2,000, and believe me, they're not mistakes, bro. These are planned actions. That 31 billion that they just lost, that didn't go nowhere. You know what I mean? It's not like poof, it's lost. It doesn't exist anymore. Like somebody has $31 billion.
I was just gonna say that's favors, dude. That kind of money doesn't go missing. They say it goes missing. It's really favors. Political favors they're handing out and stuff like Ilhan Omar, her husband.
So I don't want $1,000. I'm tired of fucking government spending shit. I think, instead of running up on the fucking Capitol building, we need to run up on the Fed and shit. That's what should be. But I guarantee you, not four people are getting
Who
shit.
makes the decisions though? The people on Capitol Hill. Dude, Capitol Hill actually is the correct place to protest because that is the source. Think of it like like roaches infesting a house. You go
Listen,
to the nest.
um,
That's
I-
where the nest is, dude.
Antifa, if I'm the Trumpsters, if there's something to run up on and burn down and shit, it's definitely the Federal Reserve, bro. Make a statement. Make a statement, bro. Just anybody watching out there.
You burn it down, they'll just make another one, dude. The
I'm
Fed's
not,
so entrenched in this
not
country.
here to fight violence. I'm just telling you, you got to choose your targets wisely now.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
if
so
you burn, let's say you burn it down, there's no trace of the Fed left. They're just gonna create another one. Like that won't solve it. That will not solve it. You
Yeah.
have to change the
bro.
hearts and minds of
All right.
Washington. And
What if people were locked inside and burned to death and shit? What
that
about
would suck. I feel bad.
and
for
if we all dressed up like that berserker guy and shit too?
the-
Berserker guy. Bro, that's how it like fuck those Trump flags, bro. I just want to go like a Viking.
Yeah. That dude was you guys realize that dude's a paid actor, right? Like he's a paid actor. People were calling him Antifa at first. I'm like, no, that dude's a paid actor, man. They pay him to like go to all these QAnon protests and all these other dude, he's been to like 30 different protests. He's protested for Black Lives Matter. He's protested for Q. Dude, he's a paid actor.
If you tell me I could dress up like a berserker, get into the fucking house, get into the house, fucking
that dude made a lot of money doing that. Believe that.
I'd do that shit for free, bro. Come on.
I guarantee you on the back end, he made a lot of money. And if he gets tried for like, oh, you're going to jail for something, because they're talking about they're going to charge that dude with all these crimes, I guarantee you he'll get let off. He'll probably do 90 days somewhere and they'll just let him go. I guarantee, because dude, how do you have a precedent where you have all these Black Lives Matter rioters burning buildings to the ground, dude? Nothing happens to them. I heard a stat today, like there was less than 600 people who had felonies, less than 600 out of like 30,000 people who had charges of all the riots all over the country. Less than 600 have felonies charges that are pending, and they haven't even been tried yet. Dude, 600 out of tens of thousands.
So
dude, how the hell could we have a justice system where one guy goes inside, breaks a window, and he's just kind of marauding about, like, hurling insults at the security and just, kind of screwing around. And then other people are burning down buildings and destroying stuff and killing people, and nothing happens, dude. That's just, dude, we don't have a justice system if that's the way it's going to be.
But you don't think 600's a lot? Like
600 what? Just dollars?
No, you said 600 people got felony charges, right? So I'm like trying to think of
hundreds of thousands of. No, I don't want to call hundreds of thousands. They said.
Let's say it's
all
like
the cities, all the rioting, all the nights. This includes Portland, Seattle, LA, like all the cities. They had a total of, I believe it was either 30 or 40,000 total, like they got arrested. But of those people who got arrested, there was a really small list of like felonies pending. And most of them they dropped out. They just let them off charges. Like all charges dropped.
You got right. You got to present charges. You got to be able to convict them. You got to feel good and all that. Okay, so there's that whole process, and you got
yeah.
But then what I'm trying to say is like how many people did they catch in the act of arson of a fucking building? Like 600. Let's say it's 600. That's a lot. No, like
of tens of thousands, that's actually not a lot at all. That's less than 1%.
Yeah, but they weren't charged. I mean, think about it. Like this guy's walking past curfew, arrest him.
There's tons of evidence, dude. There's a lot of these guys on camera. There's a lot of these guys like. If they were to go into these guys' phones and go into the cloud and see some of these videos, they can dig all this stuff up, dude. If they had the will, here's the deal. This is the truth. There's no political will from the left to investigate. The way these corporations and the government are, that was their proxy war they were fighting. That's their proxy warriors. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and the rest of everyone rioting on their behalf. That was their proxy warriors fighting for them. They will never be prosecuted unless they hurt somebody that was important. But these guys that rushed the Capitol Hill, I guess where the House of Representatives are. I think they'll face charges. But here's the deal: what kind of damage did they cause? How many people did they hurt? Were they out for blood? There was no Congress people beat up, or there was nobody dragged out. All they did was maraud about and just.
Oh, you should have saw me.
And then Baked Alaska's dumbass smoked a joint in Nancy Pelosi's freaking office. And he live streamed it. What a dumbass, dude. Hey, look at me. Nancy Pelosi's office.
Yeah,
bro, he was running around like a gimpy leg. He's got gimpy leg, I guess. Bro, he was like, when they came in, he was like fuck. Dude,
here's a big difference. Dude. That's a taxpayer-funded building. This is my distinction. That's a taxpayer public building, whereas these were private businesses that were burned down. Dude, you cannot allow people to burn down buildings and burn down shit and destroy shit and let them off the hook. And then these guys are in a public building. The damage was very minimal, very minimal. And we're talking about throwing felony charges to these guys. And nothing happens to Black Lives Matter, man.
Oh, they let Trumpsters just go in there and do it. They didn't shoot them, and it's like 4 people died.
Three in the protest, and then 1 inside the building. Yeah, there's a cop that died today too, I think.
Yeah, because I have a question
last night.
Because some of this is very odd to me. I actually just want to, before we get into I want to make some sense of this. So
sure.
Because I've heard a lot of stuff. I've read what you guys have said. I have my own opinions, and I'll just give them now. I don't know for a fact. Some people say it was all Trump supporters. Some people say it wasn't. It was whatever group, Antifa or something else. Some people say that it was planned. Some people say it was spontaneous. I actually don't know. I give the only person I really know was the guy selling hot dogs. I probably did well. So, kudos to him.
Props to that cap guy selling his hot dog.
That's a real libertarian there, man.
Went home with no dogs, no buns left, bro. He fucking got out of DC. He moved down to Texas, Florida. He was out, bro. He was like, I'm going to go there on the 6th.
Yeah.
Fuck out. I'm going to spend whatever it costs me. I'm going to be there with some fucking hot dogs and some cola. And that's what he did, bro. Props to that. Hardest worker in the fucking nation that day.
Yeah, no, props to that's the only one guy I want to give props to. Props to the hot dog guy or anyone, selling condiments at big events. Because, hey, free market. Someone's still free market minded. So that being said, yeah, I don't know whether planned.
You know what?
It was staged. It was staged because the public is allowed in this building. People don't realize this. Like, people say, oh, they broke it. Okay, no, there's certain parts of the house, Capitol Hill, whatever it's called. The public is allowed in there. Like, even they just can't go near like wherever the session is. The public is allowed in that building. They were pressuring these Capitol Hill police. Let us in. Dude, they wanted them in. And plus the Capitol Hill police was leading them to freaking Nancy Pelosi's office. Dude, it was crazy. You can see it on camera. They're like leading them away. And it's like, wait a minute. This is a federal building. Like, this should be a little more secure than this. Like, what's going on here? I'm not trying to start a conspiracy theory, but like, dude, I have clips on my Twitter. Like, it is just, so on my Facebook, it's obvious, dude. There was some kind of inside job here.
So if there is an inside job, what came up to my mind was, you saw what happened after, obviously. So you got to work from backwards. You got to work backwards to figure out conspiracy. So like, how did the vote end in the Senate? The vote ended in the Senate with the senator who was talking, right, and et cetera. And then they voted, right? They challenged Arizona first, and then they challenged PA. They tried to challenge more, but they couldn't get senators to vote. So the Senate was supposed to save Trump. Right? The Senate was supposed
that was the plan, yeah.
That was the plan. They had 52 votes. They were like, if we lose 1 or 2, we'll try to convince all the Republicans to do it. Maybe we get a West Virginia Democrat, whoever the fuck is, and then we'll get that done.
Manchin, yeah.
Right. And so that never happened. Because if you look at it on 6 to 7 senators, the 6 on the Arizona, 7 on the Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was just such an obvious fraud. Like that, if all are weighed out, Pennsylvania is the worst. Anyway, so that's the first thing. So it looks like, okay, well, let's let these guys in. We'll rattle them up. We'll tell Loeffler, we'll pull Loeffler to the side during this time, be like, bitch, if you fucking don't vote for us, you're out anyway. We're gonna fucking come get you for that insider trading, and they make some threats, they make some fucking deals, and that's what it is. And they riled everybody up. I mean, like, dude, you're a senator. You've been doing, you got dirt on your hands that can't come off. Everybody in the country knows. Yeah. And there's people right outside there, like, they're telling you, if you don't fucking vote, do what we tell you, we're gonna kill you. That's, you're kind of scared, so you're gonna make fucking different decisions than you just made 30 seconds, 5 minutes ago. Now that's the first thing. But what I really hate, and I don't think there's much more conspiracy beyond that, but if there is, it is what it is. What happened, Trump's out, right? But what pisses me off is, like, I was kind of like happy that they fucking went in there and fucked shit up, right?
I was happy as hell. I'm with you. Dude, they had a poll on Rasmussen.
I'm gonna tell you, what pisses me off is I see these libertarian-minded people like, yo, you can't be doing that, violence.
Oh, dude.
And I'm looking at them like, I'm like, how much? I get it. You don't want to do aggression. You don't want to do all these things.
Fuck those guys,
man. Let's put thing into perspective. We could blame Trump for all this shit all we want. It's kind of like a decoy in my eyes, because the truth is, after years of lying to us, I mean, bro, they lied to us about 9/11. They lied to us about Iraq. They lied to us about the mortgage industry, and then they took our money there. They took our 401ks in the recession. They told us bailing us out will make us better and made us worse. They freaking lied to us with NDAA. They lied to the NDAA. They lied with the Patriot Act. They spy on us
too. They lied about the wall.
They lied about the wall. They lie about everything. They lie about socialism. They lie about everything, and we're suddenly
healthcare. Remember the doctor you can keep it. Healthcare, it's another one.
Keep your own doctor, no problem. Okay, and so forth. And Trump lied on the guns. There's a ton of lies on both sides. Correct?
Both, yes.
And so this is reaching a boiling point now, and we're surprised. You know what I'm shocked about? I'm shocked that every single one of those members is alive. That's what I'm shocked. I thought they got in, good, because that's it, man. Somebody's got to go, and it only takes one. If you take what, bro, that's it. It's going to be a game changer right there, dude. It's going to be a game changer, because now they can be, they're not us, dude. They're not making the money we're making. These are multimillionaires.
Hell no.
They get lobbied by billionaire companies. They're not us.
They're generally married to big money people too. So like look at Ted Cruz's wife. Dude, Ted Cruz's wife is loaded. Nancy Pelosi's husband is friggin' loaded, dude. Their spouses are always loaded too.
How does someone who's a libertarian, who understands these things, that they always lied to us and they always fucked us, and they're fucking and know where it's going?
Oh fuck!
We really blame these people for acting on outrage, just the same way when Black Lives Matter down that police station, burnt down that courthouse. It's different when it's private industry, because they're like, on this, that's collateral damage. Basically, it's not necessarily who you're fighting against. But like, I understood that. Like, if you're gonna burn the courthouse that convicted so many people of your fellow, and maybe there's this whole whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. The point is, I get it, and I'm not gonna fucking blame anyone for that, dude. Because, like, you know what? That police.
I get it, man. I get it.
So I'm just shocked, one, that no one fucking died, and two, that there's these people who are libertarian who are like, dude, you get what you reap what you sow, guys. Senate, House, you reap what you sow. So if you don't want to fucking have people at your fucking doorstep putting pig blood and pig heads on it and fucking spray painting shit and all these other things, and come into the fucking White House and fucking, it hasn't been done since the English. Bro, if you don't want all that shit, like, stop fucking us. And you know what they're gonna do? They're trying to give us this tooth out. They're gonna fuck us again. They think we want more.
Oh God.
They think
dude.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to we want more money, and they're gonna try to lock us in again, and they're gonna try to make laws.
Fuck, man.
Knows
Here's what I'll say, Max.
2021. God knows what the future holds. But the point is I'm not surprised, and I'm not defending them. I'm just saying I don't see how you could be like upset at them either.
I can actually answer that just real quick, and then Kareem. Okay, so dude, you guys have to admit, I know you guys are libertarians, and I used to be one. Dude, the Libertarian Party has changed. The people in the party have changed over the years. Dude, they're more like SJW-esque. I was talking to some guys on Reddit today, and I guess some of them happened. I was on Facebook, and they happen to be some of Kareem's friends. Dude, I get an SJW vibe. Dude, they were calling me a fascist on Reddit just because I was talking about hey, we need to do something about this, exactly, dude, the thread you just gave us, the talk you just gave us, that I was tapping into that exact sentiment, saying, hey, there's only broken windows. They weren't out for a bloodlust. We can throw them in jail and give them a fine and whatever, but they really didn't cause a lot of damage. And oh no, this was an insurrection. Dude, these were libertarians saying this. They weren't leftists, dude.
Let me just say this, right?
Go ahead.
Like they're armed. They were armed walking in there.
Some were, not all of them, but some were, yeah. There was one guy with a gun on his side. Yeah, there was some armed.
I mean, and some were concealed, whatever. But they were armed.
Yeah. There were some people armed, yes.
And they shot the bitch in the neck. A fucking veteran.
That was the police. That's secret.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the police shot them in the neck.
Yeah.
Okay. And they didn't shoot back.
Exactly.
Okay. So I mean, what could have happened was a lot different. They stormed in there.
That's my point. You're proving my point, dude. They weren't there for a bloodlust.
Media talking what should have happened if this was CNN telling you what would have happened and shit tomorrow. It would have been like they went in there, they just sprayed the whole house. They sprayed
everything. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing. What they do? Break a few fucking windows.
They got a little rowdy with the security guards in that area, that big old gavel. I forgot what the hell they call that area. They got a little rough, and they were shoving around with some.
Burnt that bitch down if they want. They could have burnt,
dude. But these libertarians, like I'm talking about, man, like you brought that up about how libertarians were saying you shouldn't do it, dude. I am getting a strong SJW vibe from libertarians. Like, dude, when I was in Students for Liberty at ASU, this was back in 2005 and 6. Dude, we did not think that way at all. So there's obviously like a culture change because we were all for.
Dude, what is that?
Justified violence. Like, I mean, dude, we were ever pussies and said, violence is always bad in all cases. Like, we were never like crawling on our bellies being pussies, dude.
What's SJW?
Social justice warrior.
Oh, well, we're all social. Like, dude, isn't that social justice?
No. Okay, no, dude. Okay, the how would I put this? The way it's coined in the culture war, like the feminists, the Black Lives Matter, the intersectional left, the fringe elements of the intersectional left. Dude, I got a strong vibe. I thought they were pro-freedom. Dude, that is not a pro-freedom mindset, dude. Freedom's all about taking freedom, okay? When the government you hire on your behalf to represent you, advise and consent, takes away your rights and screws you, like you mentioned, lying to you. No. You have to meet force with force. They broke the social contract. You need to make them fucking pay, okay?
Yeah, it pisses me off, man.
But a lot of these libertarians believe you should have no violence, no matter what, no violence. It's like, dude, you guys are so impractical. Not you guys, but I mean, some of these guys I was talking to on Reddit, few, like there was like 2 or 3 guys on Facebook I was talking to, bro. They are so untenable with their solutions. Like, I understand they have principles, but bro, you can't be so principled to the point where you're impractical. Function over form, not form over function. Function over form. Okay. Right. And anyway, that's go ahead, Kareem. I wanted to just add that little bit about libertarians, man, there's something changing in that mindset. I don't know what the hell it is.
They're being hijacked, bro. I know. I know what you're.
Yeah, it's unfortunate some libertarians are going, I would say, left or right, rather than come back to their principles. Maybe they need a good talk from Dr. Ron Paul. I think they need.
Yeah, dude, like, yo, you know what happened, Kareem?
I was Dr. Ron Paul videos.
I was talking to this one guy. I was arguing. I was like, dude, the fraud exists, right? And this is a fucking chairman of West Virginia Libertarian Party.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm telling him the fraud happened. He's like, he's trying to debate me, but he like sucks at debating and shit. He uses ad hominem, he uses red herring, whatever, all these logical fucking fallacies. And I call him out, and then I just put my point. I keep it like nice. I just trash him and shit, like with debate. So, and I'm like, man, what a weak fucking libertarian. This guy's a chairman. Why aren't I a chairman and shit? So. But then again, it's West Virginia. Props out to the people who are real libertarians out there. But
they're pretty good. But yeah, I don't know.
But like, this guy's like, he's like, no. It's almost the whole Trump derangement syndrome, like entered the Libertarian Party, and I never thought that would be, man. I never thought that would be, and they like hate Trump so much they're willing to like not look at the facts. And lastly, it's that another thing is that they're going left, and instead of, it used to be, what happened was this: they were born in the 70s, and Rothbard came on board, and it fucking went full ANCAP. Basically, it was like minarchy this big, right? And we all like Rothbard and shit because motherfucker is the coolest bow tie Jew I ever met in my life. So anyway, so here's the thing.
You met him?
Met him, bro. So here's the thing.
No, I didn't.
I didn't meet him, but here's the. I wish I. No, but like, dude. So it was very ANCAP, and now it's not, dude. They're actually like, they're not for big government, don't get me wrong, but it's like they don't want to, like Jacob's saying, they don't want to, like, they don't see a reason to finally stand up, right? So what are we about then, right? Because we're all about American culture. These dudes stood up, these dudes fucking kicked ass, these dudes fucking destroyed private property, they attacked the police or the soldiers at the time, they fucking did things. And the only difference between us and them is they were a moneyed class, the founding fathers. That's the one thing. They funded it. Like, I don't have the funding to fight a fucking 10-year war right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big difference and shit. So I gotta get on my monies to get this done. But
get some Bitcoin.
You know what I mean? But anyway, what I'm saying, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get to Florida, bro.
Just call up Coinbase. Hey, Coinbase. What are your thoughts on now the establishment?
Right? Aren't they becoming a bank? So
I don't know.
So
I hope not.
Yeah, dude, it's almost like we were so ANCAP before, and no ANCAP was against what happened yesterday. Now
none.
So I'll give you my perspective, because this is an interesting one for me. It's like, I kind of see both sides. I understand why it happened. One thing people have to reconcile is, yes, I understand what happened. I understand why BLM's mad. I understand, and this is very unpopular opinion, got Bill Maher in trouble, why people from the Middle East who were given bad ideologies during Charlie Wilson's war acted the way they did. I understand that.
Yeah, it's all blown.
Because
why deny it? Like,
yeah, you can't ignore psychology and causal factors. Like you're saying, they lied about Iraq. They've done that. They've done, gun things. They've done a million things we could go into. Syria, Libya. They've, in my opinion, with some of what even the actions they did, got us very close to war with other countries, almost with Russia a few times, I would say. So yeah.
Wait for that, because Biden's all about that shit, bro.
Yeah, and he is. So here's the thing. You can't ignore psychology of people and why they're doing things. It's like I keep hitting a dog with a newspaper who's untrained, and then you say, yeah, theoretically the dog should behave and act in accordance and be nice, but the dog may
Right.
inadvertently bite you, and you
That's
have
a fucking perfect analogy,
you
bro.
have to take that. Yeah, because I do analogies. I look at patterns. I just do pattern analysis. I'm not condoning any type of violence. With libertarians, the guiding principle is the principle of non-aggression, meaning you can use violence, but you never initiate violence. See, the biggest thing, and I agree with my teachers and the people in the bar, is the cops come in and they say there was a fight. Say, yeah, me and so, I punched this guy, and then he punched it. So who started it? Well, he threatened me. He said he was going to do X, and X, and he got in my face. So I swung. Okay. That to me is all that matters. Like, I know some teachers say it doesn't matter who started it. To me, that matters. That's the only thing. Who started
No, by law it matters. I mean, like,
by law, it
technically,
matters, yeah. And in my opinion, by natural law, take outside of even human law, it matters who starts it.
one is considered self-defense, one isn't, right? Like,
Because
so,
why are people like, okay, fine, World War II, the United States got involved, okay, we got involved in these wars, but we were against Iraq because initiating violence is wrong, not engaging in violence itself is completely wrong. It has to be in a defensive capacity. And that I do agree with, because I don't want anybody, I want as many people to follow that principle as possible. Can't say it'd be universal, but I can say, as far as I'm concerned, my reading of St. Thomas Aquinas, this is going for Rothbard, is there's karmic, or whatever you want to call them. You can say it's a sin if you'd like, if you do initiate violence and stuff like that. So I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying, hey, go and smash, but I understand exactly why it happened. And there's some good things that people are finally starting to see.
here's the question. Here's the question.
Yes.
Libertarianism is about not breaking the nap. Agreed.
Yes.
And cap also. And cap also.
Yeah, to me, that's like the guiding.
Right?
But what about deliberation and compromise, though? That's the problem. When they violate the contract.
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
go ahead.
Because the nap is violated.
Yes. So
Because first off, we're taxed unreasonably.
yes.
You can't even fucking start a business without putting 10 grand forward just in fees. And
minimum, yeah.
Okay. Especially in Jersey. You can't do a lot of things. If I go make money, they're gonna tax me. Especially, let's talk the middle class. That's most of America, right?
Yeah.
So when you're poor, you get money back in taxes, more than what you paid in.
Mm-hmm.
When you're rich, you get enough property, you have depreciation assets, and you can write it all off, and now you're avoiding your taxes there. So you have some freedom on both sides in terms of taxation. In the middle, you don't. They take your money, and then at the end they want more, right? Okay. So that's a violation of that, because if I don't pay, they're gonna fucking send me to jail, they're gonna fucking imprison me, they're gonna do all these things. If I want to smoke some fucking weed in some states, I'm going to jail. Okay, I'm hurting no one. It's a victimless crime. All victimless crimes, they put me in jail. There are tons of violations in the NAP.
Yeah.
Believe me, everybody knows there is, because when you're driving down the street or down the highway and that police officer is right behind you, you do not feel safer.
Yeah.
You know that the NAP is about to be violated.
It is. It is, okay. Definitely.
And you resist. And if you resist as a black man these days, and I don't play too much into the whole race fucking bullshit, systemic racism, but I guarantee you, if black, I'd be more scared too.
I would be more scared too. Yeah.
That's how the narrative is. So the NAP, right? Are you guys agree?
Yeah, I'm agreeing the NAP's been violated. What I was just trying to talk about with Jacob is there's some libertarians who say pacifism, and I say, no, that's not guiding principle. And there's some libertarians that say, okay, like, yeah, let's show them up. I'm saying, no, there's a middle ground, and that's to be negative, purely.
Well, it's common sense, dude. It's common sense. Like, think about it.
According to Ron Paul, if you guys remember that post, that drawing, it's the rider with the mask on, right? Like, he's got the hat backwards. He's about to throw something, and it's a bouquet of flowers.
Mhm.
So yes, the non-aggression principle, etc., like protesting through peaceful means. If you remember, it said Ron Paul revolution, but there was love spelled out backwards in the revolution. If you spell it out back, so it was about doing it peacefully. You ask that motherfucker now, if you guys watch Liberty Report, is it too far gone? He's like, yep, it's
Yeah.
it's it's
Too
it's
far
fucking
gone.
over. Like it's
So
you know, Garrett, listen, tomorrow or
You're
today,
right. You're absolutely right.
he's gonna make another show, and he's gonna talk about this Capitol storm, and he's gonna say exactly what we're saying, that they
have violated so many steps, like the dereliction of duty. Their dereliction of duty. They've
They
taxed
stole
the
the election. They
No.
let's get this right. Not the Congress. They didn't steal the election, but the state stole the
at the
election.
state level. They did though.
They did steal the election.
Up to
And
the
these
feds
people
to investigate it though.
and these
Okay.
people challenged it. They didn't challenge it. Okay. And so they were there like, yo, you better fucking challenge this shit. They actually did the reverse.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let me
And
get
they called us
one out there real
conspiracy theorists and stuff for even questioning it.
Wait, let me get two more thoughts out there for one thing. One, I can say there's some interesting things coming up with this, because finally, and I'm not saying all cops are bad, but the system they work in is so that
Yeah, the laws they have.
Yeah, the laws they have. So it's like Max saying, I'm not saying all personal trainers are bad, but Max said eat pizza and cheeseburgers all day and don't move. That's a bad system. Even if I have good personal trainers and I do the wrong thing. Yeah. So at least here's a good thing. Some people are walking back this blue lives, cops can do no wrong. Well, who are you going to call, Kareem? We have to have centralized security. That's the only way to have a safe community, is do centralized security. And I've been saying no. Look at and literally Google Robert Murphy's thing. He has a nice whiteboard video. And at the end, he says cops use excessive force. People let them off for anything. And it was a lot of the Trump and GOP crowd. And he says, well, if we're going to have laws, we have to have this. And he said, no, that's not a consequence of having laws and cops. That's a consequence of one group having central control or monopoly on law enforcement. So maybe we can have this discussion now. And I'd love to, with the right and the GOP, hey, should we have a central control over security? And I think the answer should be no. How can we decentralize it? And threat management in Detroit did well with that. After the Detroit government failed, you can look up threat management. People make apps, which in my opinion, I've called 911. I'd rather have my neighbor have an app and then put like emergency. And then you could also, yeah, Kareem, I know this sounds crazy, but hey, I could say, hey, Max, is pretty good shape. Here's a firearm in Florida. Can you please do patrols, and I'll PayPal you, Payoneer you, Bitcoin you something to actually do decentralized policing. So those are some solutions I want to say, because police.
That system already exists, but it's the police.
It's got to be a small area though. But like, yeah, you can make it work.
Hydra was the sheriffs. Like the sheriff is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That the sheriff system isn't like the police. I mean, dude, sheriffs don't do what police officers. I don't give a fuck what's going. You know what I mean? They're after the bad guys, like the real bad guys. Fucking murderers, the rapists, the serious fucking break and entry burglar. That the violent fucking the real criminals. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking for you to. Oh, you got a little bit of weed. All right, let's fucking give you a fine, send you to court, or put you in probation as a little kid and shit. Like they're not about that, bro. Like so that the sheriff system really it exists. It works good.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't need to be paid through income tax or it takes very little property tax to fucking get it done. So it's bro, you just gotta get rid of the fucking police station and keep all the best police officers and put them as sheriff deputies and work it under there. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd say. Because all these people, all these groups now, they're saying like, I don't trust the police. Well, okay, well, fine, with good reason. They have central control. There's no accountability. if I had no accountability, I wouldn't trust myself. If someone said, Kareem, I'll pay you if this was the top podcast to talk about it, I don't know. I'd probably like come on here like, super tired.
There's also the fact that like all three of us. I don't think does anyone live in the ghetto?
I used to live when I was in college. I kind of lived in the ghetto.
But like, right?
Not now. No, hell no. I'll work an extra day a week to live around decent people. No way, man.
My neighborhood, when I go to sleep tonight, I lock everything, bro. But like, if I didn't lock everything, I'd be, you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
There's neighborhoods that aren't like that in America, and extra police force. There needs to be more patrolling there because there are real violent criminals in those areas. There's a lot of vice crimes in that area, like, that if they weren't vice crimes would kind of diminish the criminality of them. For example, like prostitutions in the area, which because it's illegal, it creates the opportunity for pimps, which now it's a vice crime that becomes a violent crime. And then, there's crack being sold on the block, which why are you selling on my block? I'm supposed to sell crack on this block. So now it creates a violent crime again. And so you kind of, because the laws are so fucked up, now you actually need the police. You see what I mean? You know what I mean? In those areas. So that's kind of how the police officers started out to begin with, because they're not constitutional. If you go into like most constitutions, it only allows for sheriffs.
Mm-hmm.
It started because big urban area development started, and all these things back in the industrial age, and that's where police stations start coming about. You had like guys like Jesse James too, like fucking rob someone in Missouri and run to Kansas, vice versa.
Yeah,
back.
Man.
That's what they were doing. They were robbing fucking trains, bro. Like that,
Yeah.
Bro. Bring me back to that day, man. Good days and shit. He was a Confederate. He fucking got out the Confederate Army. He fucking lost the war. He's like, I'm just gonna rob Union trains. All these fucking banks that fucked us, I'm gonna rob them. And that's
like a modern day Robin Hood in a sense. But yeah. I'm finally glad to see.
Like today, most America wouldn't love him.
But with our culture, dude, he would be man.
But you know what? Brad Pitt made a movie.
A bunch of pussies today.
You know what?
Brad Pitt made a movie. Go watch that movie. Brad Pitt made a movie called Jesse James and the coward something Ford who killed him. This guy who assassinated him, bro. But like, it brings it to police stations needed more funding, so it was like real small, and they needed more funding to catch him because he was so widespread and all these things. And so they paid this guy to fucking go in and kill him and shit. It's fucked up.
So I'm just
Brad Pitt played him so good, dude.
I'll just get one more thought out in this positive thing. I think maybe we'll have to see. I can't predict the future, but here's what I would say is good, because like you mentioned, this guy, that makes me think of Lysander Spooner. I don't know why. Every time someone mentions a good, effective, rebellious, and virtuous American, I think of Lysander Spooner. To me, that's like the archetypal America. That's Captain America, in my opinion. And he found a way to compete with the federal government, offer a better service, and almost, beat them. So what I would say is that the good thing here is piggybacking off of Austin Peterson's article, or that David can beat Goliath, and that does happen if more people on David's side jump. And here's the thing: Republicans are sick of the GOP. I hear it. I see it on Twitter. I don't even look at social media that hard, and I can see like these people are mad at the GOP. And I think on the other side, sorry, clear my throat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know a lot of leftists, and because I talk to them too, I try to talk to every part of the political spectrum, even Antifa and other groups, just to see kind of what they're saying so I can get an idea. A lot of them do not like Biden. Biden, put off talking with Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Yeah. I completely just ignored them. What, did you use them just to get elected? And what I perceive happening is, and I could be wrong, but the GOP splits, the DNC
Well,
splits.
what's happening, dude. What I'm trying to say is that like what's happening in politics,
Yeah,
is that we have the old style Democrats who are pretty much dying faster than the Republicans, and now the Republicans are dying at a fast pace. The
Yeah.
old Canes and the John Kerrys and the Clintons and the Bush, these are like, this is not what people are voting for anymore. So they got to go to such extreme lengths, where California has to fund Georgia fucking Senate races, and there's a little fraud here and there in all these states, etc. They're going to such extents where you're right. There's a huge fracture in the. I mean, you hear it all the time. This is the GOP is Trump's party now. Meaning it's taking a shift, and to people like like who are more ANCAP libertarian, there's like, okay, well, good job, you moved one step to the right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, not that much, but obviously Trumpsters are a lot easier because they believe in the freedom a little more. They believe in these things. They just don't understand the economics well enough, and they're a little too pro police. But and they
not anymore though. That's what I'm hoping.
A lot of most Trumpsters don't want the wars. They're like, let's get out of the wars.
Oh, dude,
I mean,
that's
a lot of the
Trump's
even progressive Democrats don't want the war.
Correct.
Neoliberals would like them.
And
That's the thing.
And
It's
so
the
what's
Israel war lobby that wants the damn wars.
Yes.
happening is shift. And if you look who's the presidents right now, the president-elect, Biden and Harris, they're not the new party that we're talking about. And they kicked out the Trump, which was the new wave republic. They kicked him out, and they're putting the old in. Okay, we're putting the fucking Clinton, Bush, fucking Biden, McCain shit in there now. And Harris is gonna, her father was a Keynesian economist, for crying out loud. She was a police officer, and she's a Democrat. There's no relation to what the people want up there right now. So we have is a huge fight from the elitist class to hold on to what they already built in America, which we were trying to get rid of. They used Trump like a pawn, like just blow all the fucking money so we could get rich. We'll give you another 4 years and you can make America great again. Bullshit. They gave him the boot, and that's where we're at. So the people. Luckily, a positive out of 2020 is we know 100% is the people are fed up.
They are.
They're done.
I have to interject for a second. Dude, you guys, a central bedrock tenet of republicanism is deliberation and compromise. That is the most fundamental thing of republicanism or a republic is deliberation and compromise or advise and consent. When these government officials can break that compromise anytime they feel like it, and they're not accountable, as Kareem mentioned, when they're not accountable to their own damn agreements, and like you've brilliantly mentioned, Max, how they keep lying and lying and lying, dude. For us not to act, it goes against our human instincts to allow this. Forget political philosophy. It goes against our freaking instincts to allow this. This is human nature. For us to keep allowing this and allowing this and allowing. No, when we got guns, our country was founded by quote unquote insurrectionists. Okay.
Yeah.
But so, I have to add this into conversation because I got to give it some context that people understand when they apply all this NAP bullshit. Look, NAP is wonderful when everyone's keeping their agreements, okay? But when you have a government that's out of control and not keeping their agreement, you guys both mentioned, we're getting radically different politicians than what we want. It's like, no, you guys are fucking us. You're violating the most basic bedrock principles of republicanism is deliberation and compromise. You guys broke the social contract, not us. Anyway, I'm done.
The social contract doesn't exist.
Not only did they break the social contract, the NAP, where and our contract and agreements we have with them to represent us versus the fucking corporations out there. Okay. Not only did they break it, but what else are we supposed to do? Because we can't walk away from it. It's not like I could say, okay, well, I'm not going to fund you anymore. I'm not going to pay you my taxes. I'm not going to pay property. I'm not going to do all these things. They'll come and they'll lock my ass up, right? So
yes.
where am I going? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to keep voting, and where am I? Okay, I'm voting, but guess what? All the good candidates are not winning. They don't have the money behind them. They don't have the corporations are fucking locked that shit down, bro. So the judges are paid off. The fucking scientists are paid off. We've seen it all in 2020, and the people are fed up, and they're burning down the neighborhood, and they're storming the fucking Capitol. And you know what? I don't think it's over. I don't think you've seen the last.
No, this isn't over.
No, but I will say this, and I'll just get my last point. So now, let's say you do have fracture. I'm actually going to say almost. I'm pretty sure there will be fracture. So you have GOP, honestly, write them out. I'd say 6 parties. Correct me if I'm wrong. GOP, Rhino, and then you have, if you want to call it progressive, and then DNC neoliberal. That's 4. Then you have libertarians and Greens. As far as I'm concerned, Jake, the party is still growing in membership. So for whatever reason, yes, there are some people who have some lefter ideas, some right ideas. I'm more of like a Ron Paul centrist dude. And then there are some people, have different ideas about minarchy, voluntarist. I'm still a voluntarist myself. But we have the libertarians. So what I would say is, because of maybe the balkanization is not the correct term, maybe it is, but because of balkanization of these parties, we might have a shot at, getting maybe some real change. I might be wrong. Maybe it's too late already, but because of balkanization of so many parties, it might be possible. And someone just invited me to an Amash Gabbard thing. He recently retired. If he does go full force, I'll go full force. I'll try and do what I can at the state level. But when it comes to all this thing, they actually asked Edward Snowden. They said, I think it was RT TV, Russian TV. And they said, Snowden, I voted. I tried all the political means. I tried everything, and it's just not working. And I feel disenfranchised. What can I do? Because yes, violence is a tool, just like a tool, like a toolbox, a hammer. You use it in self-defense, or you use it when a contract's been broken, even though I didn't sign a social contract. But they're using it. So what I would say is this, and I'll quote him here. They asked him, what do I do? He said, when the law fails, or when we see that the law is only the smallest guarantee of our rights, support groups, support people who are doing innovations in science, technology, and people who are learning math and crypto and things like that, who will enforce and sue governments, sue them to directly enforce your rights, to directly enforce what you value. Because no amount of violence, no amount of military force will ever solve a math problem. So yes, it's a tool, I would say, and it's definitely a tool. I understand why it happens. I'm not condoning or saying you should do it. At the end of the day, it's a defensive tool.
Right. I mean, it's the way they were trying to use it. It seems to me is to,
what's the end goal is my question of all this. Here's my problem with the BLM and all this stuff. I want to know, like, what is the end goal? Okay, I can go and be mad and throw my phone, or I can go mad and I can be mad at Max one day and maybe a wrestle around, but then say, like, what are we gonna do going forward? With shows and stuff. To me, I'm not a trust the plan guy. I'm a make the plan guy. I'm gonna sit there at 5 o'clock in the morning and be
great,
like,
man.
oh,
because you're so dude, like you can't just say, okay, well, we're gonna fucking storm the house and and then what? Even
I understand why it happened.
We hang Mitch McConnell and we hang Nancy Pelosi, and we gangbang what's her name or Ocasio-Cortez. We get that done and shit with those big commie titties and shit. So we get all that done, right? But now
you'll be hitting on Gabbard. You're like, hey Tulsi, what are you doing?
As babies, we're fucked and shit. So we can't do that, right? No, but what's the plan going forward? You can't.
That's my question. So that's always my question.
It's obvious that you need to replace these people, and they're fucking locked in from big money, right?
Yeah.
So you have to popularize freedom, and like Jacob's saying, the Libertarian Party is getting hijacked little by little, but it's not so far gone where like obviously it's the best thing still going rhetoric wise for us. So
Yes.
my solution is like yours. Yes, you're right. And your solution in the private market is perfect. Fund the people who are going to sue government, who are going to fucking get rid of all these bad politicians, right?
Yeah.
But
the organizations, even the ACLU, ruled in Snowden's favor. That's crazy to me.
The Libertarian Party has weak fucking people in it. Like, I'm not people in it like as like, you know, I'm talking about the ones who are running it. You know, the ones who are like chairman, like this West Virginia guy. I know West Virginia got better than him. There's no way this is the best guy in West Virginia. This guy is a tubby, stupid looking motherfucker. Okay? Like he can't fucking debate. Like, bro, you're in politics, bro. The very first fucking thing you need to be good at is debate. Like, you better know what, you know, he can't debate. He ignores that there's any type of a fucking election fraud, you know, because he hates Trump. I get it. You hate Trump. Who doesn't fucking hate Trump? My point is, you can't just ignore. This guy's, you know what I'm saying? Go look in your state, Libertarian Party, and go see how many chairs are open. And what you should do is run for that chair, bro. Like, run for that little district right there and put your fucking name. Bro, there's nothing you really got to do in the Libertarian. We're not running shit right now, dude. Put your name on it. Be the fucking change you want to see in the world. You don't like the politicians? Be the fucking politician. That's what
we're talking.
That is a solution. That is a solution.
We need the freaking people who are in the private market, who are really good at the private market, libertarians, because that's where we're going to float. We're always going to float back to the private market because we're capitalists. But we need to do a civic duty. That's what we need. We need some civic duty time and shit because it's time. It's fucking time. Yeah. People are storming the fucking Capitol building, bro.
And the DNC and the GOP are corrupt to the hilt. So we definitely need to do something. I understand why this happened. It's kind of weird to me to just say these are crazy people. No, I understand why this happened. That's one thing the left needs to realize. There was reasons.
That dude in the fucking berserker costume, bro, was the sanest person in the building.
Probably. I mean, that was a heck of a costume. That dude has his face paint game on. I mean,
that dude probably took the mushrooms just like the Vikings used to take mushrooms before war, bro. He probably had
like he should have just got a horn. But yeah, that to me, that is a solution, Max. Is maybe you can, you know, I don't know if Jake would agree with me or not, but yes, find groups, find individuals who will sue governments on your behalf, because at the end of the day, yes, you can use violence as a defensive tool, but it'll never solve a math problem. It'll never solve, like, I work in the free market.
We need real libertarians.
Yeah, we need real libertarians. We need real solutions thought out as well.
I'm gonna fucking.
But the Tubby guy, I don't like him, but we have Spike Cohen. We have Amash.
We have some good strong
dude.
You know what I'm saying? We need an army of Spike Cohens. We need an army of Rand Pauls.
Yes,
Thomas
army
Massey.
of Rand Pauls or Spike Cohens.
We need a wave of libertarians to get in there and kick the Rhino ass, kick the Trump ass, kick the fucking commie fucking bullshit progressive bullshit. Fuck them all, bro. It's libertarian time. And that's what we need to do. And yeah, they got the big money. But dude, we are smarter than these fucking people. They're just bought out shills, dude. They got no skin in the game. They got no skin in the game. We care, dude. These people just fucking care about dollars, bro. They don't they don't know economics. They don't know fucking law. They don't know none of this shit. They don't know science, bro. Bro, we know all this shit. We research all this shit. We're gonna fucking go in there. Yeah. We're going to fucking take over these local governments. I don't care if it's the Board of Education. I don't care if it's the fucking, bro, all of them, dude. We need them all. And that's how we're going to fucking get to the fucking top. Because remember, we're still in a republic. The top, it doesn't work top down.
No.
You can say no top down. You understand? You could say no. If you bro, we need a governor, we need state senators, we need state Republicans, and dude, once that starts happening, and it's a form of popularizing. Politicizing is popular. Okay, so we need to popularize our politics.
It's populism, man.
Do it when we're just fucking not winning elections. Oh, the guy is at 1%. Oh, she's out. Joe Jorgensen's at 1%. Bro, so it ain't gonna work. So we need to go back. Joe Jorgensen needs to go try to become a governor. She needs to go try to become a state senator. Shit like that. That's how we're gonna fucking get there. Spike Cohen needs to run for fucking House of Representatives, along with right next to Thomas Massey, chilling out there, and that's another voice we would have.
And Larry Sharpe. Larry Sharpe's another good one. Do you guys know Larry Sharpe?
He's great, and you know what? He's popular in New York.
Yeah, people love him. Goes on his live stream and like,
we need to get the state senate popular, bro. Like, nobody knows their state senators, nobody knows their state representatives. That's you just hear because the TV ain't gonna cover it because it's all about criminals. So what we need to do is we need to go door to door. Hey, my name is Max Henry. I'm running as your state representative. Guess what? This is what I want to do in the neighborhood. And they're like, in the neighborhood? Yeah, forget the country, because you know what? What matters is what happens outside this door. And I'm gonna be there for you when you need me. And when you need to call someone, you can't reach Trump, you can't reach Biden, you'll reach me, and I'll make sure things happen for you. And I'll protect your rights, and I'll make sure that the fucking jobs are out there, and I'll make sure that the crime isn't high, and I'll make sure that we fucking stop getting these kids arrested for fucking et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? Because that's what we need is accountability. See, libertarians don't want to be accountable. We just want to go to work, make our money, and that's a problem, bro. You know, and Capistan ain't gonna happen because ANCAPs don't want to be accountable for even
That's
what they have.
The price of freedom, man. Hey, dude, you're
price
bringing up a hell of a good point, man. No, seriously, bro, you were bringing up a hell of a good point. People love freedom until it's time to take responsibility, dude. They love the benefits of freedom, but they don't like the cost of freedom.
They'll take the $2,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah, that's the benefits, but the cost is the productivity, the market trade, the expansion, the skill acquisition, dude. The problem you brilliantly bring up, dude, that is a colossal, like, imagine it being like an iceberg, dude, like 90% submerged, there's only 10%. Dude, that is the conversation that no one wants to have, dude, is the fact that, look, the price of freedom.
They don't want to be accountable for what's out there, and that's the fucking problem.
You like complain.
I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I don't like the Fed. I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, motherfucker, get out there and do something. Get out there and fucking run, because there's an open seat right now that's not filled in the Libertarian Party, and you're a Libertarian, so go fill that fucking seat and get to work, dude. Yeah. Get to work. You work fucking 8-10 hours a day. Well, guess what? You gotta work 14, because that's how it's gonna go.
You gotta outwork the competition. Exactly.
We're gonna have no fucking freedom tomorrow if you don't fucking go out there and get the fucking work. Okay?
You're bringing up a good point, man.
Let's just wait for it all to fall
No. Fuck that. No.
Bro, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. You want to live like Zimbabwe, Cuba bullshit? Like, dude,
we're on that train right now. We're on that fucking train. Because here's the deal. When you run into these leftist types, these real leftist type of thinkers, they think that, socialism and handouts, and we live in the richest, you hear Bernie Sanders rhetoric about we live in the richest country in the world and billionaires. First of all, though that money is in equity in businesses and 401k, it's not cash on
not sitting in fucking gold vault.
and when they talk about, I'm owed a certain living and this and that. No, you're not. Here's the deal. Whatever you create in the marketplace determines what your value is. They just never want to talk. It never gets to that part of the conversation. It always gets to your own, this country's so wealthy and so, see, the framing is the country's so wealthy and it's so rich and you're being disenfranchised. And their mindset isn't even shifted toward opportunity of what they can create and innovate and, produce in the marketplace. You know, they can't maximize somebody else's creation.
They're
The
worried about
conversation never
they're
gets
worried
there,
about
dude. It's
everyone else's wealth
oh,
instead of what they
these
could
white
produce.
these white people are oppressing you, and fascism. And when Trump talks about law and order, that's a dog whistle for fascism. And dude, the conversation never gets to the common sense of, look, if I need food, I have to grow it. Okay. You don't dig the well when you're thirsty. Now, I know we live in an advanced society. But my point is, you have a part to play in it. You have a part to play.
Yeah.
And if you have a shitty life,
Yes.
guess what? That means you're making bad decisions. Okay. I hate to bring it to people.
And you
You're
know
making
what?
bad decisions.
I'm gonna tell
And
the
the
Green
market is
Party.
giving you signals telling you you're making bad decisions.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
tell the Green Party. I'm gonna tell the Green Party the same shit. All right. You want
Yeah.
that shit to change? Are you tired of Biden? Are you tired of Nancy Pelosi? Are you tired of all that shit? Well, what you need to do is you need to go to the Green Party and start fucking filling out those seats, bro. Because you don't like war. You actually believe in small amounts of socialism that's not extremely wasteful, that doesn't give corporations all the fucking money. That because listen, every time you get a $2,000 check, somebody's getting $1 billion. All right. You don't like that. I don't like that. Nobody likes that. So here's the thing: go fucking out there and do the same thing. Jacob says, you haven't played a part in society. You got to work for it, bro. Ain't there's no Superman coming to save the day.
Yeah, and that's one
This
thing that killed me.
movie.
That's one
This
thing that
ain't
killed me with
fucking-
Biden and Trump. Actually, the thing that bothered me most about Biden and Trump is the most interesting thing is it was all negative. It was like, well, I'm gonna vote for one because he's not the other. I just want to get rid of one.
Oh, I hate that.
It'll be damage
hate that.
reduction, potential temporary damage reduction. I just don't want one because it's like kind of like, hey, I'm
you know
sick.
how bad it is. That's how you know how bad it is.
It's like you
because
go to a doctor, and I'll give you an exact story. It's like I go to a doctor and he says, "Cream, your blood pressure is high. It's like 130, and you're in your 20s. I'll just put you on a med, or I'll give you and you have choices of 2 meds." And I said, "Well, what about apple cider vinegar?" I researched that. He's like, "You can try all that stuff. Probably won't work." Went home, gave it a shot. I wasn't like, "Ooh, doctor save me." And a lot of people are saying, "Hey, well, Trump is the only thing that's going to save us from this, or Biden's the only thing that's going to save us from this, or this representative." And my problem is,
You want a hero, bro. That's the problem. People don't
you
want
don't
the
have a savior.
a hero.
Stop looking for a hero. Stop looking for a savior. As Young Ripper would say, when you mail to be on here, I hope we can get him. You said you wanted a savior, but every day we go through voluntary exchanges. So you're looking for a savior. I'm sorry.
Savior.
There isn't one. Biden's not going to save you. Harris is not going to save you. Trump's not going to save you. Pence is not going to save you. Unfortunately, it's going to have to come down to you. What can you do? Because you're more, even if you voted, fine, you voted. I voted for JoJo. Jake voted for Trump. Some of my friends voted for Biden. Okay, cool. I'm not mad about that. But you are more than a vote in a box. You are more than just a piece of paper or a click on a screen or a button or
Fund companies that want what you want, like Kareem said.
What is the marketplace rewarding?
Yeah.
They're sending signals every day.
Fucking business where they're actually gonna pay you for your time. Don't expect fucking Walmart to give you a fucking raise, bro. Okay, it ain't gonna happen.
Because the market doesn't reward that. The market's not asking for that. The market's asking for software engineers, doctors, engineers, because they create a lot of value. People in society reward that. You know, and that's all voluntary exchange.
That's what
I want to tell anyone watching is, if you're not thinking about days, weeks, months, years, and the time going after the election, you're not really being involved as a citizen. If you're not at least taking some time to cognitively space out, what do I want to see this country? How do I want to see my community? How do I want to see my state? A vote is a start.
Like run for mayor. Listen, dude, the person who runs for mayor and loses is just as popular as the mayor in every single fucking town, just about. Okay? Because no mayor is only weighed on his good things. They're weighed on both. They're bad things and good things. And everybody says, maybe we should have had the other guy. Maybe we should have had him. And guess what? That happens all the time. You see You see towns flipped left to right, no problem. You see towns flipped left,
all the
no
time.
problem. The mayor is a very easy seat to uproot. Okay, it's very easy seat to uproot. You need some money, you need some funders, you got to make some fucking friends. Okay, you can't be all fucking introvert and think it's gonna go all your way and somebody owes me and shit. Nobody owes you shit, bro. All right, your mom spit you out. She took care of you. She owed you because she put you into the world, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I ain't your fucking mom. I ain't your fucking daddy and shit. All right. So here's the thing: you gotta go. You want a socialist fucking world? Go make a socialist fucking world. You want a libertarian world? You want an ANCAP world like I do? Go make a fucking ANCAP world. Stop telling me that everybody else is the problem. And yeah, like, where is ANCAP?
It's a dog whistle for
Let me
fascism.
ask you something. Well, if I build in Kapistan, they're gonna come get me. Well, motherfucker, that's the price of freedom. Are we gonna do it?
Exactly.
Are we gonna do it or not?
Yeah.
Are we gonna? Do you guys want to go build 100,000
just-
fucking acres? Listen, there's a property right now in Texas, 472,200 acres. 1,000 acres, excuse me, 472,000 acres of land. It's a ranch. It's one fucking ranch. Dude, the shit is the size of Rhode Island. Okay? Cost so many millions of dollars. 350, I believe, just shy. Motherfucker, let's put some money together. Let's buy this fucking land out there.
Yeah.
They're selling it in 3 pieces if you guys want 100 million something. Bro, you put it together, you build it low in Kapistan, bro, and you live as free as you can. You could, if you get enough people there, you apply for a township, you become your own town, you make your own laws. Remember, we're a republic. That's how it could work from the bottom up.
Okay.
And it's in the middle of it's in the middle of West Texas.
Quick question, actually, you guys, if you know, with the new the bill, I guess, with streaming and stuff. Maybe I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, go for it.
Someone, I shared this with Jake, I think, share this with Max. But I was even going to bring this up in a debate with James from Words and Numbers, because he said I'm not an anarchist. I don't know if that word private. So I wanted to actually find a working example, even if it was a small one. Someone posted, there's a Mexican town called Chiron. And what had happened is the police were working with, I know this is going to shock you, organized crime. And
Yeah.
and then they were interviewing the guy. And this is on Vice, mind you. This is not Ron
Yeah,
Paul.
this happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
Bro. This happened like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, and I should have been up on it. But this was not the Measy Institute pulling this. This was Vice interviewing people. He just asked him, well, didn't you call the police and stuff and try and get it? He's like, yeah, we filed abuse, but they would just file it away and do nothing. He said, well, what happened then? He said, well, we found out police were in cahoots with organized crime, and they hurt my father, and they were stealing trees, and they were doing stuff to our land and basically breaking the social contract. So we just got tired of them and we kicked them all out. I don't know if they killed them, but they said they kicked out all the organized crime. Since politicians and cops were working with them, they kicked them out too. They didn't specifically say.
And they took responsibility, dude.
Yeah.
They took responsibility.
And then they said, and this is Mexico, mind you. They asked them, well, how's it going? He said, we've had 9 murders in 7 years. That's like a day in Chicago. So,
Wow, man.
so
That's
well,
better than a day in Chicago. That's better than the weekend. Dude, you know what? Let me tell you something about what happened in my neighborhood. I grew up with a lot of friends. We were all like trying drugs and shit, and I got out, and I started doing my own thing, going to work and having kids and stuff like that. My son really saved me from all that crap. So I'm blessed there. But one of my friends passed away and shit. A few of my friends, actually, one just happened to pass away last week. Again, overdose, heroin. And I remember a few years back, there was a person I knew that was selling it, and that person sold it to him and at the time, and my friend died. And so I just ran up in his house, kicked the shit out of him, took all the drugs and stole all the drugs and left. And then I threw it all in the garbage. And you know, when I beat him, I didn't beat him like just a few times. Like I made sure like he was fucking needed hospital attention. And he never ratted on me, he knew not to and shit. One, because he probably feared for his life. And two, because, he was a drug dealer. He couldn't really say what was going on too much. But he left town. He left town and shit. He's out of here. So like one of the things, if you want to change your environment, I could have went to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
And I lucked out and I didn't. But if you want to change your environment, you're going to have to take these risks. You're going to have to do something about it. And
that's part of what freedom requires, though, dude.
Yeah,
it requires
freedom is choices. You're going to take risks.
Listen, I'm never going to make more money in politics probably than unless I'm crooked.
Yeah.
Than I am going to make in the private market. But freedom needs its martyrs. And so whether it's economically that I have to sacrifice or even sacrifice what your life, if it does come down to that, you have to stand up, because it's not just me I'm thinking about, man. I got my 2 kids, dude. Like, I'm going to die, dude. I'm going to die. And my kids are going to be alive. And what the fuck did I do for them? Okay, well, I taught them well and all these things. But I let Cory Booker fuck New Jersey up. I let Bob Menendez fuck it up. I let Phil Murphy, Bill Pascrell. These are all the politicians that represent us here. And so, like, somebody has to go to that office and maybe not physically fuck them up, but somebody has to give them living hell, and so when they go there and they're about to take that lobby money and they remember your face and they remember, like, I'm in trouble because the people I work for know now, and they don't have that. Nobody's going to these people's doorstep other than people who are trying to buy them out.
Yeah.
They don't have these angry citizens going to their door, and you're supposed to do that. And so that's what we need more of there too, man. So we got to become the politicians. We got to become the lobbyists ourselves. We got to fund the people who could lobby us into better situations of freedom. And if we do that, man, especially what Kareem's saying, the splitting up of all these parties, and they're having big trouble up there. They're having big trouble in those parties. This is the time to do it, and Amash hopefully runs in 24. Hopefully Rand Paul fucking gets all the Trumpsters to fucking understand freedom a little better and he takes the GOP. Not like Mitt Romney is the next fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? Mitt Romney's the old. Mitt Romney and Biden are the same.
Oh, that dude makes me cringe
They're
so
the
hard.
same fucking candidate. So what we need to change, man. We need to change, and change is an action, and an action needs a force, and the force is us. And we gotta do it,
So here's some obstacles that we have to overcome, though. I mean, everything you said is, dude, I have no objection to anything you said, Max. It's all, you are fucking 100% airtight on the money, dude. But some real obstacles we have in this country, man. We have a technocracy that we have to fight against, and we have the media to fight against. And I'm telling you guys,
I mean, look,
I think the media,
a guy like me talking like this gets banned pretty quickly.
I mean, it's just like for instance, they'll have a speech where Trump's talking about, like, we need to restore law and order. Dude, you'll have the media run clips about that's a dog whistle for fascism. Okay, so check it out. And us three will laugh. I mean, that's obviously ridiculous. Dude, a huge part of our country, a huge slice of our country, they'll believe every word of that and double down and build narratives off of that. Oh, I told you fashion. And dude, literally anything he does.
The popular opinion, no matter what fucking year it was, from, has always been sheepish. Like they've always been stucker.
I mean, there's a libertarian, Brian Kaplan. He actually covers a book. He wrote a whole book about this, what I'm talking about. Brian Kaplan. He's an awesome libertarian thinker, man.
Like if Brian you Kaplan, anyway, Nazism was really good at convincing everyone the German race was like advanced and shit. Like it's science.
There's more to it than that. They had mass inflation. There was Marxist infiltration. They had to use big government to beat out big government.
I'm just talking about
more complicated than that. But yeah.
Race.
like how they were saying that they were the perfect race, and everyone believed it, dude. Because it was science. And then you have like the communists in the Soviet Russia, how they were able to overthrow because the conditions were right. Well, the conditions are right for us, dude. You know what I'm saying? Even all these things play into our favor because where there's disaster, there's opportunity. What do you remember a more disastrous year in your life?
No.
Oh no, dude. There's for me
biggest
personally, for the
opportunity.
country and me personally, dude. There was no year that even comes close to comparison. Even
So
2008, I didn't do
Yeah.
this bad. Like,
I
dude,
mean,
2020 was a
I
shit
remember,
fest from
I
beginning.
think the only worst year in my life in terms of like thinking of the country was I'm in 8th grade. I'm on the 3rd floor in science class. Funny enough, my fucking teacher had the same last name as me. And I look out the window and I see a big smoke happening. It's 2001, September 11th. Like that's a big tragedy, So 2020 was
Oh, 9/11 doesn't touch 2020, dude. In my opinion,
it's like
9/11 was one day. I mean, and we were a united
like
country
five,
back then. We were a
right?
united
9/11
country.
happened 5 times this year or something. That's how it feels. That's
But
6
see,
times more,
But
right?
let me touch on this media problem again. Literally, dude, because of our media. I think it's because of our media. Everyone keeps saying it's social media. That's bullshit. We had social media 10 years before this. We never had these kind of problems. The
Yeah,
media, they're
different. Social
so
media.
good at digging into certain people's psychologies. Like, for instance, George Floyd incident. The country actually united, Republicans and Democrats, saying we need to have reform. This is BS.
Well,
The media started digging up stuff and started twisting
well,
lines, and
let me let,
riots start happening, dude.
let's not forget they're
Dude,
good at it for a reason. They're
well, no,
good at
but seriously, the
they're
media.
good at it because right now you carry a device that gives them like 85% of what's in your fucking head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're carrying a device that you type your thoughts into, you message through. It knows everything you're doing, bro. It knows where
shit, it
you
knows
are.
more. It
Okay,
knows more about you than you know about you.
stores you pass. Google Maps mapped it all out, bro. It knows what the fuck you're looking at all times. Okay, it knows how the speed you drive. It knows the fucking car you have. It knows what you weigh. It knows all these things. That's why they're so good. Because remember, it is centrally controlled.
But
Snowden showed us what they're doing, so they know how to get to people. But that doesn't. What I'm telling you, what I'm
you're
100
ignoring the physics, is what
positive.
I'm talking about. You're ignoring the physics, dude. Like, no. If you're gonna be a libertarian, dude, I'm telling you guys, you have the right messaging. They will manipulate people against you if you don't trot the line, dude. Trump, seriously, I hate his debt he took on. He literally toed such a moderate, middle of the road line his whole presidency. Everything he did, they turned into fascism, white supremacy, white nationalism. And dude, the people believed it. There was good people on both sides. Dude,
Different
I
opinion.
am fascinated with how the media can just manipulate. And dude, these people are CPAs and doctors and engineers. These aren't fucking welfare queens and shit.
I
They're brainwashing smart
agree.
people.
I agree
Hey,
with you. Don't
I
see where
agree
we
with you, but there's
I
one thing I
agree.
want to
Go
I
ahead. No,
agree.
go ahead, Kareem.
is
Agree. Go ahead, Kareem.
I
Yeah.
have looked. Someone brought it. Actually, I didn't look myself, but some people who are reputable, which is interesting. I know I'm saying that, but it makes sense. Average, the media no doubt has some power, but I'm looking at that.
Some, huh?
Okay, the media. Let's say they have a lot of
basically
power.
run this fucking country. They
Okay,
run this.
let's say they run it. I've looked at their average viewer age
But
for the big.
bro, you're missing a part. You're missing a part.
Well, can I?
He's missing a part. He's missing one part. The media controls a lot of the popular opinion, and I agree with you. We laid it out how they're doing it. They know everything we're doing, and they have it all centrally locked up, and they could fucking advertise to us any which way they want at all times, knowing how to advertise to us
You still have agency.
better than ever before. But here's what it is. So they're gonna come after us and shit because we're spreading libertarianism and all that, right? That's fine, bro. That's fine because at the end of the day, when you're in front of someone's fucking face you win, dude. So if you keep it small, the operation is small. If it grows person by person, it can't be done. You can't start. That's why we can't win.
I respectfully disagree with you there, man. I've been in this game a long time. Man. I respectfully disagree with you there. Media has a lock on people's minds. Like,
whoa, wait. Let me make a point.
Go ahead, Kareem. Go ahead.
And I know I can validate this point.
1984 scenario. We're not there. So that's first.
No, closer to Brave New World, actually.
Pump brakes on this 1984 thing you're pushing out there, okay?
Dude, the Supreme Court didn't take that case because of the media.
I'm not talking about
the Supreme Court because of the media.
Who the fuck is talking about Supreme Court? Are you listening? Listen, dude. The
it's
media
connected to the media. But go ahead.
Here's what's happening, bro. If you try to go win the presidency, you'll never win as a libertarian, right? Because we don't have the media exposure. If they want to spin it a different way, it'll never happen. If you want to go win the mayor, guess what? They're never going to get to you because you could get to more people than they could get to.
Sorry, okay? I heard something outside.
You can get to your town just as good as actually better because I'm a real person. I could go to a 1 square, 5 square mile town and get to every single fucking door and see everybody in the fucking eye and say, hey, I'm running. This is who I really am. I can shake their hand. The media can't do that.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to change.
Okay, at the local level, you're right.
Can I one up that?
At the local level, Max, I will agree with you at the local level. But go ahead, Kareem.
But then what happens if you start winning the local level, the fucking popularity of libertarianism is going to spread and it's going to become statewide. You see what I'm saying? That's how you got to do it. You can't do it from top down. You got to do it from bottoms up.
Okay, here's what I'll say in regards to the media. And I agree with Max's point, but I think we can validate this. People watch Tim Pool, Mark Dice, Luke Rudkowski.
Bro, you love Luke Rudkowski.
Well, he does a good job.
He does, bro. He's been around, man. He's been around.
Journalist, he's completely funded by donations.
George Soros. No, I'm playing.
No. Okay, fine. Even Alex Jones, and I don't like Alex Jones, as that much. He's I'm fighting the globalists by my pills. Okay. Okay. Let's compare just relatively. Let's compare their viewership, even smaller YouTubers. Let's compare their viewership. CNN's average age is like 60s, 70s. So is Fox. Like it's all. They're not bringing in the younger generation, and B, I guarantee you the reason that they're trying to put brakes on these YouTube creators is YouTube creators are doing better. You can't beat legacy media with, and everyone I said, where'd you get your news from? Oh, well, I like this guy. I watched him. I watch this guy. I really hear some people watch CNN, but a lot of people I'm talking to say, hey, there's this YouTuber. Most people give you a YouTube link and say, hey, I'm watching these decentralized media folks who are guys like us, similar. I mean, they've done pretty well, so maybe they have a studio, but they started out like us. I got a tripod, I got a camera, and I'm going to go report on stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I can't even think. There's Lauren Southern. There's, I really like Luke Rudkowski because he does a good job. He goes on the ground and he's doing pretty well. And even if they ban him, we can find another, place, that.
Dude, he'll always be. I mean, he's been around for so long, dude. Like Luke Rudkowski's been around since I became, awake, because we didn't call it woke back then. We called it, are you awake? Like we actually pronounced words back then. I think what you're saying is that like we become our own media, and you're right. Our generation doesn't fucking need TV, bro. I don't got cable.
No.
Anybody got cable? We don't use cable. We all share Netflix and Hulu and all these other fucking things and shit, right? We all fucking jack them. We all paying like fucking $8 to $16 for that shit. And then what we're doing is we're getting our news sources from the internet. But Jacob's right, because what's happening is
you guys are ignoring the power of the media. You're just, oh, I'll just go up and talk door to door. And,
dude, the power of what we're gonna do.
I mean, I know you can make a meme out of this. I'm telling you guys, I fucking witnessed it where I sit down. Hold on, I'm gonna fucking talk for a second. Dude, I have sat down belly to fucking belly and talked to someone, and they said, holy shit, Jake, you're right. Holy shit, Jake, you're right. I walked through every step of the fucking way with people and convinced them that whatever I'm arguing, Jussie Smollett was a hoax, Covington School Kids was a hoax. I show them the irrefutable fucking evidence, dude. Irrefutable fucking evidence. Dude, I've done this 20 different times. You know what happens? That motherfucker still votes for the left and says Trump's a racist, Trump's a fucking sexist, Trump's a Nazi. Dude, I've done this shit with, dude, I'm being literal now. At least 30, 40 different people, dude. People I've worked with, people in my family. Dude, the media, and you know what they do? Their defense is never their own thoughts. It's always media narratives, media talking points, dude. Every fucking time. And by the way, these are people in Arizona, Wyoming, fucking Florida. These are people all over the goddamn place.
Because you didn't brainwash them. You just told them the truth. You follow?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You got to build a bigger apparatus to brainwash them. Dude, I can sell a fucking case. Like, don't think I'm some kind of a limp dick fucker. I can sell a case.
It has to happen because when it comes to politics, there's not a libertarian around. But oh shit.
Dude, most of my thinking originates from libertarianism.
But here's my question. Won't the legacy media eventually file for bankruptcy?
I don't think it will. I don't. Everyone's really wishful, and they're, oh yeah, Jake will go bankrupt. Dude, if you look at the YouTube channels, CBS News, NBC, they have like 10 million subs. Dude, they're not going anywhere. Everyone's fucking stupid. They like, oh, Jake is like Bill O'Reilly was ranting the other day saying they're gonna die. No, they're not. Dude, the media, they need to be absolutely fucking destroyed, dude.
Well, dude, the thing is that when I go vote, there's only 2 columns. I know you're right, Jacob, but there's only 2 columns.
Yeah.
These are my choices. And I'm brain already. You might have told me the truth and you made me think. And I watched a video that, by the way, made me really uncomfortable because
documents everything.
So they're going to go back to the safe place of what they know, But if there's a 3rd column, and Jacob's on it, and he's
they're not going to shift that fast. I know that's not true because there's been an option. That option's been there.
You're not dying tomorrow either. You're not dying
tomorrow.
I've
seen libertarians vote for the left, dude.
Kareem, how old is Selesky?
Who's Selesky? Oh, one of your guys' friends?
He's running for governor.
So he's running for governor in PA. I don't know.
It's gotta be like 60s, right?
Maybe
60s. Okay,
bro. I'm 33 years old.
Bro,
by the time I'm his age, I'm gonna become fucking governor, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude, I would vote for you.
I got 30 years, bro.
I mean, with you guys, I agree with you guys. Dude, getting people on board is fucking impossible, dude.
Look at what happened, Jacob. Look at what happened to Georgia. It only took 10 years for them to turn it blue.
Because they got big tech, all the institutions, the media, dude. They have so much power, dude. Like,
they didn't have it in Georgia.
Power they've consolidated, dude.
They did not have that much power in Georgia, and they got it done in just 10 years, bro. We're starting from scratch.
Repatriating, yeah. But here's the thing: I got to give the left credit. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and just cry and complain, dude. I have to give the left their due. They did their homework. They did it through the schools. They did it through entertainment. They did it through big tech. Like I said, I give them full props. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from them. They did their homework. They organized. They got their money. They got funded well. They won. It's over. It's over. We're going to go to a socialist communist country. We're going to collapse, and then we can have Ancapistan, dude. They won. It is over, dude. It is fucking
And then
over.
we're going to have Ancapistan. I hope so.
Yeah, after the collapse, there's a cycle. I forget what the hell they call that, where there's like a cycle, like where you start off, you have a free people, like you're stoic as hell and you're a free people. You become more democracy, you get feminized, then you turn into like a overindulged society, then you collapse, then you start over. I can't remember that cycle.
Bro, when I'm at work, bro, dude, the guys who are more feminine,
yeah,
like either they feel threatened,
or they feel like they like you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happens, bro. When they're what, and they feel both. It's
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
but here's the funny thing. That's what women feel.
You're
know,
right. You're right.
because
Oh no, dude, we're in a very dude. As Kareem, when I go on my rants on Facebook, I talk about that all the time, dude. About how fucking men are such pussies today, dude. They're always asking their wife permission.
Guys like that feel the same as women. Kind of treat.
Oh, what does everyone think about me? Consensus seeking. That's a woman's view of the world, dude.
Yeah.
Consensus seeking.
I mean,
pussies,
not that it's wrong, but like just you got a pair of balls. Why don't you use them?
Dude, they don't though.
And I mean, Jake. I mean, it might be over, but I'm still gonna try. I mean,
no, go
let me
for
ask
it, man.
you this: did we give up when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Oh
no, dude.
Oh, the Germans did it.
Because we can. Here's the difference.
Well, John Belushi's right.
We could go toe to toe with the Germans at that time. We could go toe to toe. That's the reason why we didn't give up.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, no, but like
I was talking to this one guy that's
where's the Animal House? Like, yeah, what's this flying around? America.
This guy was like, yo, I sold this client a car, and he was like, on a whim too. The guy just like walked in. I just want some numbers. I was like, sold in my head. Yeah. Anyway, so what happened was, we're at the cashier. I'm collecting the monies, and he's like, we're talking about what's happening in the country, and he was like, man, this generation probably couldn't have won World War II. I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, it's true, but you know what, dude? Like, what? Again, the opportunity's there because it's all falling apart, bro. As good as they got it, as good as they have, as much power as that, it's still fought because you can't sell shit and call it food, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Only they're women, dude. They're women, and they're a woman in a man's body, dude. That's exactly right. They're all over feminized pussies,
media,
dude.
Right? The media could control, and it could control a lot, but there's only so much to do, dude. That you can't give me shit and call it food and for me to believe it forever, because as long as there's a patch of grass outside and a fucking bird flying through the fucking air free as could be, man's gonna think of freedom, dude. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna see they're gonna see that piece of fucking fucking weed grow out the crack of a fucking crevice of they're gonna be like, that's what I need to do. No matter what, all odds, I gotta do it. It doesn't matter if it even gets to 1984, right? If you guys read the book or watched the movie, at the very end, he was like, as long as you don't give in and you still believe in freedom, you win, bro. So we're nowhere near in that position. I don't live in North Korea.
Hold on. Okay,
here's a question I have for Jake.
Go ahead.
Media is powerful. Okay, yeah, I'm not denying the power of the media, the power of love. It's a good song. But here's the thing. If they are all powerful, if they are the thing, and I'm not saying they're not, they definitely have. Okay, you asked about Trump. How did whether they're wrong or right, how did 74 million people vote for Trump?
Because of the media. Actually, Trump got elected because Hillary Clinton. No, seriously, no, guys, look this up. Do your research. Because the media, because they thought Trump was an asshat. They underrated him. Of the Democratic Party, that is. They thought Trump was an asshat. And so Hillary Clinton basically said, hey, make this guy popular. Make him, because they want him to win and make an ass out of himself. Dude, they totally underestimated Trump. And they thought there was no way in hell he could beat Hillary Clinton. Dude, the Democrats, they got caught with their pants down.
No, I'm not talking about Hillary.
No, the Democratic Party.
You know why?
I'm asking about this time.
This time around? Oh, because they stole it. They fucking stole it.
But wait, 74 million people is not a small.
Okay, so
huge.
here's the deal. This is the reason why 74 million voted, because Joe Biden was that bad. It's not because Trump was that good. Dude, Joe Biden was a horrendous candidate.
The media was pushing him.
Dude,
the media was
saying,
hold
on, let me finish. There's a lot of independents that generally vote Democrat, dude. There's a lot of independents. Dude, I know a lot of independents, dude. They're just like, there's no way I can vote for Biden. I hate Trump. I can't stand Trump. There's no way I can vote for Joe Biden. Look at him. He's an old senile fuck that touches kids, and he doesn't have his programming right. Dude, I know most of my friends are independents, dude. They think I'm a nut. And they generally do vote Democrat, but they voted Trump this time because they're like, Joe Biden is that fucking bad. And Bernie Sanders and this shit. Dude, 74 million people voted for Trump. A lot, by the way, a lot of Hispanics voted for him. That was totally unexpected. A lot of
Let's
Asians
not
voted
like
for him.
pretend.
That was totally unexpected.
Let's not pretend that Trump is like not a part of this global. He's just doing it in a different way.
Yeah, you're right. He is part of it, but you're right.
So like
he is part of it
74
differently.
million people were still brainwashed into voting for him too. Like,
Oh, dude. Okay, so
bro,
the MAGA cult thing is real. Like, I'm not saying they're brainwashed, but I'm saying whatever the media fucking pushes, dude.
They got flags. They got big flags. Yeah, they're flying them on their trucks.
Dude, I just told you that. I just told you the cult like MAGA thing. It's real.
Yeah.
Like, dude, talk about free trade with these guys.
Jesus has sent them and shit. Like, bro, just chill with the whole Jesus sent Trump thing, because I'm looking at the national debt, all right? And Jesus wasn't a spendthrift. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, dude. Like, dude, did you see my live stream tonight? I literally fucking bitched for like 10 minutes about that shit, dude. I literally bitched for nonstop.
No, dude. I know you do, bro. But like, you know, like if we try to tell somebody who is a Trumpster, right?
Dude, the cult thing is real,
right? If we try to tell them, hey, what about bump stocks? What about red flag laws? What about
they'll just dig their heels in. They just
actually not even long ago, about a month and a half ago or something like that, they raided Polymer 80, which is you know, a really small gun company, build it yourself type shit. So they were selling build it yourself guns and sending it to people, and they raided them. You know what I'm saying? And why did they raid them? I'll tell you why they raided them. Because PSA does it. Palmetto State Armory will send you a gun to fucking build. But they raided the small company. You know what I mean? So
again, I know what you're saying.
He used the ATF, and is that competitive capitalism? No, it's fascism, right? Like destroy the small companies, get the rich ones richer, etc. So yeah, I mean, like those 74 million people don't know shit about economics. Will deny all the NRA members will deny
free trade. Here's three things you talk about with Trump. These cult Trump supporters, not like me, like I'm just a realist. Talk about free trade. Mm-hmm. Talk about immigration, because I tell them I'm pro-immigrant. I just want the right kind of immigrants coming in. That's
I want the doctors and I want like the good ones, bro. Give me.
Talk about guns. You mentioned the bump stocks. Talk about guns. Talk about fucking free trade and talk about immigration with them. Dude, I guarantee you will have so many fucking fights will last into the rest of your lifetime, dude.
Yo,
you cannot talk about immigration with Trump supporters, dude. I say to them, I want net positive carrying capacity immigrants, tons of them, because they'll
I'll tell you who we getting, bro. We're gonna go Operation Paperclip. We're gonna steal.
I know where you got that from.
We're gonna steal all the fucking best Chinese and Russians and Iranians and bring them in here and shit. That's what we're gonna do.
Seriously, like, well, hell, there's engineers that are brilliant in Mexico. Problem is, we're not getting them. We're getting like just the lowest, whoever can clear over the fence and not get caught.
Well, they're doing fine out there. That Mexican's doing okay and shit, you know. The fucking family who can't
feed their track it. So I don't know. There's no way to track if they're in out of jail or they're building their own business. There's really no way to track it. But hey, we'll find out once we amnesty. We'll find out.
But hey, Jake, at least Trump supporters proved yesterday walls aren't as effective.
Okay, so here's the thing about walls. You don't actually need a wall. If you enforce immigration on the books, and I didn't know this, let me confess a sin I've made, okay? When I first started voting for Trump, because I live in a border state, I was like, yeah, we need to get this shit under control. You know what the actual problem is? It's not a wall. It's the fucking government isn't enforcing immigration.
Yeah, they just let them walk.
It's not the wall. It's the government's not enforcing it.
They arrest them, and then they let them walk. See you for your court date. Never show up.
Is that enforcing law? No, it's not.
No, it's fucking
Dude, we
hard.
didn't have a wall before the Hart-Celler Act for hundreds of years.
You fucking, bro, here's what I'm doing and shit. I'm the fucking sheriff in town. I pick up the dude. All right, bro, you're not supposed to be here, right?
Yeah.
The second time I saw you around here and shit, you know, I got to escort you back. You drive his ass into fucking Mexico and you tell the fucking, you know, you bring him to the police station there. Be like, look, bro, we got a problem. You're not fucking looking after your border over here. And if we're gonna keep happening, if this is gonna keep happening, we're gonna have a problem. So check your fucking territories and make sure.
But here's the thing, okay? The Mexican government has basically an agreement with the United States. The Mexican government wants to influence U.S. policy. So what you do is you flood the country with your immigrants so they can vote and affect policy there. They can no, seriously, that was part of Mexican government. The U.S. government benefits because cheap labor on the right and votes for the left. So everyone benefits except like middle class regular people. Like I said, the problem was enforcement. It wasn't the wall. And again, I made a mistake there.
If they want to fuck with us,
we're not going to get a war with them.
We're going to fucking kick their ass.
Dude, do you realize how much we get on our hands and knees for their fucking labor, dude? Like, I love going to places like Minnesota and they say to me, oh, Jake, what was that? Missouri. I was in Missouri 2 summers ago. They were telling me there's no immigration problem.
You know what? It just goes back to the fucking social programs that we have, bro. Like these immigrants.
Well, that's why they come over. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We get rid of these social programs. Get rid of public schooling. Boom. Their kids can't go to school. Okay, well, I guess there's no need. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude.
I know exactly. Dude, you're right. You're speaking. Like I said, we're not enforcing the laws because if you look at the laws on the books, dude, we have tough fucking laws. But the problem is we just say, oh, yeah, come in the system. And they say, I feel so sorry for you people. Come on in.
You end the income tax. You end the corporate tax. You end all taxes on business. All taxes on business.
Yeah. I would have a higher consumption tax and a lower, investment tax and a lower savings tax.
Don't fuck with the consumer. Hey, I like consuming, but no.
Honestly, dude, if I'd have no tax if the government would just fucking do their job, man.
In a perfect world, we've had no government, but the thing is that
let's talk about how much money I want.
Speaking of Mexico, Town did that. They were able to do that in Mexico, a region of it. So here's the thing. I give Mexico some credit. Chiron actually just threw them out and they got a militia to patrol and they not in a perfect world. They still have murders. There's still brawls there. Okay, yeah. Like the problem I have, and Young Ripa, talks about this, is people like, oh, libertarianism. Give me a utopian solution. I don't have one. Well, okay, I can't do it. Well, is the state giving you perfect solutions to everything? How's that working out for you?
That's one thing, but you could point out, you gotta, if you really want to give them something, there's over 9 centuries of Brehon law in Ireland. Bro, Irish people, before the English took them and colonized them, Irish people did not have a fucking government.
No.
For 900 years, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man.
So they had their clans. And what were the clans? They weren't gangs. They were just family, big ass families. Because back then you needed to fucking spit out as many kids as you can because you don't know if they'll survive the winter and you have to work the land and all that shit. So what you did was you had like 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, as much as until your wife fucking passed from childbearing, and you spit out all these kids. And then you have cousins and you have uncles and all this shit, and you have a big ass family, and you work the land, and it was all private. Everything was privately done, and everything was, so these big families, somebody who was had better land, maybe better at running their land, better at farming, better at trading, better at right. So they rose to the top, like anywhere. They rose to the top, and they became the prominent families. So was there some corruption? There was absolutely some corruption. So where did they go? They still needed a law system, and it was called Brehon law. And guess who the judges were? The fucking Druids. And the Druids, the Druids were these fucking dudes who ate mushrooms all fucking day, tripping the fuck out. These were their judges, okay?
South Africa had the same model.
Yeah,
that's the British. The British Empire, the Danes first, and the Dutch. Yeah. They had South Africa. It had a fucking basically no government for hundreds of years, dude.
Yeah.
So what happened is that they got these Druids. So you go to the Druids, and the Druids used to write all the they didn't allow writing. That's another thing. The Druids did not allow writing. So it was the reason why is because they wanted the memory was supposed to be the most important thing, and all their culture and everything was supposed to be told by stories and never written because it was sacred. It was too sacred to put into the material fucking world. So you had to fucking know it by mind and all this other shit. And that's why a lot of their shit doesn't survive. And we're looking at Stonehenge like this Celtic fucking creation. What the fuck is this about? You know, bro, like because they didn't write shit down. And so these were the judges. And when something happened, if I wanted to sue someone, there needed to be a victim. Like a person who, a person who was to be punished by a crime, a victim would have to be there to give testimony.
Yeah,
And
like
if
I'm black and I'm oppressed, and
Like,
therefore
let-
you owe me reparations.
Like, let's say exactly, I'm black and okay, well, who is oppressing you, or something, and if you don't have one specific person, you have no
Yeah.
case with them. You understand?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
if
yeah.
let's say you know there needed to be a victim for the crime. So if they literally live by no victim no crime, and they didn't just put you to jail, they said okay, you have to pay him. So it was just compensation.
Yeah.
You have to go to work for him for this many years, and that's how it is. And if you didn't, they kicked you fucking out of the fucking tribe. And you were like, bro, the whole thing with honor back then was a big thing. Oh, you're that motherfucker? Okay, yeah, we don't need you here. So it didn't matter how far you traveled, because word traveled fast.
That's how
And
we
you were-
evolved. What you're describing is exactly how human beings evolve, man.
And I have,
Europeans particularly.
They did this for 9
I
centuries.
believe you.
yes.
9
That's crazy,
centuries.
man.
And it wasn't perfect. And how it fell was by the empire of the English, and it didn't fall easy, bro. They fought off.
Oh no, dude. The
They
fucking
fought
English.
off the Vikings. They incorporated into the Vikings all these different things, but eventually the English came and they
Dude.
did their thing.
That was the hardest thing other than India, which India was a complicated type of deal. But dude, that was their hardest people to contain was the Irish, dude. The Irish, oh
Yeah.
fuck. Ask any Brit during Brits like high time in the British Empire. I mean, we can't because they're dead, but if you go back in the readings, dude, every one of them will confess those
No,
Irish
I grew
people
up-
were
I
tough
grew up with these
motherfuckers,
Irish.
dude.
I grew up with these Irish kids, and you know they
Oh,
are
dude, they were
fucking
tough
Irish.
motherfuckers.
They red ginger Irish.
During the potato, check this out, dude.
pops.
During the potato famine, when they all came over here, like in mass, 50 years after the potato mass, every major police department all across the United States, dude. You know who the head of a police was? It was damn near every time an Irishman.
And the mayors
Top
in
lawyer was
Pattern,
an Italian,
Jersey,
dude.
are Irish and Italian.
Irishman, every city you go to, dude. The top one. Why? Because they were badass fucking law enforcement people,
They were.
man.
Irish
Irish
mob.
Badass law.
But let
Not
me
to
tell
cut
you,
you guys off, I want to use
these, I grew up with these kids, right?
Yeah.
They're Irish as hell and shit. Their pops was part of the IRA, and he ran from Ireland to see.
Oh man.
They give you a free
Yeah.
car.
He shot somebody out there, like a politician in northern fucking Ireland, and he ran to the U.S. and they were trying to extradite him as like just 2 years ago. They were trying to extradite him. I signed a petition to make sure. I called the fucking. I called up the representative, Bill Parscrell.
Yeah.
I was, dude, you can't let this happen. I grew up with his kids. This guy's obviously rehabilitated. Like, they wanted to fucking arrest him still.
Okay.
Dude, the IRA, that was like the first legit terrorist organization that like I mean, but they stayed and they were and no one could like really defeat them. They were the British.
It was
I
the
think,
idea
I
of
think
freedom.
they were the
You
original.
can't defeat the idea of freedom, bro. You can
Yeah.
just
Oh
but
yeah.
Here's
Oh
even
yeah.
an
Absolutely.
example
Absolutely.
I'd like to touch on because I think this one's interesting for a plethora of reasons. I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase among libertarians, even from the left and Trump supporters. Well, if you want decentralization, just move to Somalia. That's always like, oh, why don't you just move to Somalia? And I'm like, and then I always counter, well, you could go to North Korea if you like being told what to do, and then they stop. But here's the interesting thing. I looked at an Austrian economist who breaks that down, Pete E. Leeson. He studied two things primarily: how pirates work in a decentralized fashion, which you can look up his lectures. They're brilliant. He's like Brian Kaplan, and he's in George Mason University too. Side note. And then he also talked about Somalia because they asked, well, and he said, here's the thing with Somalia. Yeah, they after the Mohammed Barre regime, if you're familiar with that, Black Hawk Down, after
Yes, I
that, there
am.
was a period where they did not have any government. Now, people always make the mistake, well, why don't you just move to Somalia? Well, even if the United States lost its whole government today, it would not look like Somalia. I don't think anybody would believe it would look
No,
like that. You have to compare nth best anarchy with nth best anarchy or
yeah, and
best
your
government.
populations are different, dude.
Yeah.
This is
Populations,
the
tradition.
populations have to be different. They
So
have to be
here's the-
similar. Like, yeah, man.
We're like a lot better educated than the average Somalian poor
Yeah.
fellow.
That's what I'm
But here's
saying.
the
Like, we're
interesting
just
thing.
different. We're just
How did
different.
they do it? Because he asked Pete T. Leeson, okay, you're always bringing up, because the thing they got Pete was, you're always bringing up pirates, and pirates are small groups, but Irish were a big group before then, as Max said, and Somalians are millions. So he said, okay, how would you coordinate millions in a decentralized society? They didn't have Brehon Law, but they had two things. Maybe you're familiar with them, maybe you're not. One is here with it's pronounced with an X, and one is, this is going to be the funny one, all the conservatives ask, Sharia law. And
No, that makes sense.
yeah,
That makes sense because
oh.
it organizes society. Like,
yeah,
see, this is why. Okay, so you can have an Ancapistan if you have the defense that'll cover you from the nearest neighbor. That's one thing, because that's where propertarianism, like an organic outgrowth of Ancapistan, was propertarianism. But propertarianism was based on militias, like this. Okay, the Scythians, for instance, that came in, like they're like they weren't the official barbarians, but they're like the Germans, like the barbaric German type of people. The Scythians were like basically professional Ancapistans, but their whole tribe were fighters and warriors and shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were constantly battling each other. And dude, it was a grindhouse of tough people.
Well, they did have like regional kings or something, but
Yeah,
it was
but
like
it
was
was
like-
all hard fought though. It was hard fought. It wasn't like just given or anything. Like,
Yeah.
these-
so
called
how they
themselves-
did it in Somalia, just to
But-
get that is, if
oh,
I'm part of the Liberty and Consciousness tribe and there's another tribe, if one of your tribe members kills one of my tribe members, you have to pay all those tribe
That's
members.
right.
So that decentralized way of enforcement worked for a long time. And here's the interesting thing. Even Stefan Molyneux, have to disagree with him. Somalia is not it's not a rich country. Their education system,
Yeah.
their education, they don't have an education system like we have. They don't have all the stuff we have technology wise. They
But-
don't even read.
they're not Western, dude. Like,
They do
They're
have,
not Western. They've never read Rothbard. They were able to set this up. Same with the Irish.
but they, you know what? They were religious religious. Like it alludes to the point. It determines what's acceptable and what's not.
it
Without-
organizes society because it
without
organizes society,
Any
man.
law, if you could convince everybody, God will fuck you up if you don't fucking listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you're
so,
gonna.
so like Europe was Christianity, dude. That's what organized society. And yes, there was different countries, but they largely all were Christian countries, dude. And that's what kind of organized society
well,
at the
they
micro level,
they
you know.
really forced into Christianity with the Romans, but I
Well,
mean
well,
that.
Constantine, when toward the end of the Roman Empire, Constantine declared Christianity was the official friggin'
Yeah, that's what.
Roman Catholicism. That is not like
Which is fine.
um,
Because I mean, they incorporated everything. They incorporated some pagan things, etc. But
yeah, the Pax Romana.
that's actually what stabilized Europe for and you know what? That's actually an interesting thing because as soon as that happens, Constantine fails, right?
Yeah.
The Roman Empire breaks again, and we got 1,000 years of a dark age.
Yep.
But we had Islam. Here's the interesting thing. In the
Nah,
Dark Age,
We didn't have no Islam. What are you talking about?
Spain and Islam, but that's about it.
bruh,
We got southern Spain, bro. I ain't chill
But-
with that.
Dude, that dark age you're talking about, that was all tribes and fucking fighting. And dude, I'm telling you that's where. Okay, so Europe, people ask,
Tell you what,
why do
what's
Europeans have
interesting
small
is all-
government?
the money went to the east. All the money in Europe, in Western Europe, actually fled, to Constantinople, right? And it left all the way to as far as Mesopotamia, Iraq, what was it, Assyria, and the Persian Empire. That's where all the money.
Yeah, because Europe matured
Not
at
like
that point.
markets-
Europe matured. That's why they had to find new sources elsewhere. Like markets
it-
start an entry point and they
Bro.
mature.
It went to the Silk, like towards that area,
Yeah,
right?
silken. Well,
Well, I
Marco Polo, he has this book and he wrote about that, like when he discovered the noodles and shit like that in China. And
Yeah,
but, and then there's another guy, I think Henry the Navigator from Portugal. He went to India.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
No, you're right on the money, but people ask me all the time, why is Europe uniquely small government where it happened nowhere in the world? The reason why is it's based off of Ancapistan, basically. Like tribal is like bigger than a tribe, like a community. But propertarianism is Ancapistan.
I was thinking about it came to me the other day that Western Europe in general is
Yeah.
way more rebellious as a people.
Because they had to be.
Where I mean, think of how many civil wars happened.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
100
100 years war, 100
Oh my
years war
god,
between
man.
the British and the French.
Just
That's
because
where the middle finger came from.
Dude,
over like
just-
Normandy, just
Dude,
over Normandy.
Spain had 700 wars, I believe, from
And the
Castile
fucking
all
all
the way
that
to now,
shit. So
dude.
we got all that. And then you look at like a place like Russia, and it's like the Viking Rus just
Yeah.
like controlled this whole thing, and there was insurrections and all that stuff. But it's like you look at other places in the world, and it's almost they're like dominated by the autocracy, and they weren't able to like uproot it as quickly or like as many times as was being done in Western Europe. So it seems like they were less tamed, you know, like white people want to fucking fight and shit.
It's in our blood. No, really, the warrior, like the fighter people, they're the ones that lived on and passed on their genes. The weak
That's why
motherfuckers got weeded out, dude.
Time I
It
was
is in our
like, yo,
blood.
last,
And see, that's why I tell people it's in our blood to be a free type of people.
yeah. Well, that's why I tell people, you know, I think I mentioned it last time, like the last thing the Chinese want to do is invade and just see a bunch of fucking rednecks fucking walking straight towards them.
The fucking
Like, bro,
UN,
You
the
know,
UN
I
put
don't
out
care
a
how many Chinese motherfuckers there are, bro. You don't want to fuck around with us, bro. Like, fuck out of here. Make
dude,
chop suey out your ass and shit.
the UN put out a statement saying they were going to get troops and make a land
Okay.
invasion. This was like about a year ago. I was like,
blue helmets,
bring it,
blue
bring it,
helmets.
Pierre and Hans.
Make blue helmets red again.
Dude, that's why I was like, bring it, Pierre and Hans. Fuck those guys. But I mean,
Who's really coming? Like, who are they gonna send? Like, stop, bro. You know, you could send as many. Bro, listen.
they're not going to. That was just an empty
My bare
threat. Dude. They're not
hands.
going to do shit.
These bare hands will fucking get them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Proof of that is actually Switzerland, because Switzerland, lot smaller than the United States, they're well armed. Nobody messed with the Swiss. They stayed out of World War II. They stayed out of everything. I'm like, when JoJo said, "Make America one giant Switzerland," I'm like, yay,
She
please.
forgot the most important part, all the handouts people want. Trump and Biden supporters.
There's San Marino.
Trump supporters are some of the biggest welfare recipients there is.
You got San Marino in Italy, right? Little ass
Yeah.
country. You got the Vatican, right? You got Luxembourg. There's those little
Luxembourg.
bullshit countries that are out in
Dude,
Europe.
Luxembourg's a rich country, dude. That's
That
a
shit
rich fucking
don't
country.
exist- That shit don't exist anywhere, but in Europe. You see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
shit don't exist anywhere but Europe.
No.
Because they're freedom-minded people, man.
Taiwan's pretty close to that, but like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong and
doesn't
Singapore
exist.
as well. Singapore's fucking tiny, but they're a
Right.
freedom-minded
Like
people.
so, there is these examples, but it's so
But
interesting.
they were all colonized by Western governments and shit. A lot of them, not all of them. Like Hong Kong and Singapore
Hong
were
Kong,
fucking British
heavily-
colonies.
Heavily influenced by us, you're right. Yeah,
But
but then you get
the
like
British
Australia
Commonwealth legal system
wide
too,
open.
because the Spanish, they were colonized and all their colonies turned out to be shit because their organization was too centralized, whereas British
don't mean to get
colonization was decentralized.
I don't mean to get into like slavery and like demean anyone, but the problem with like Latin America is if you get in slavery was slavery, always slavery. Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
every human being's genetics has probably been down at some point through slavery, right? Like the majority of us, right? We weren't all born kings and shit.
All
So
serfs probably actually.
and some kings become slaves, you know, their children become so, but it evolved through anthropology. And if you get into that shit and you start reading what they were, bro, they really tried to figure out how to make a perfect slave, and then they were like breeding them a certain way, and it's all this sick shit.
Yeah.
But
That's the way humans were. Humans are still
but,
like that, by the way. Go to fucking Libya right now.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Like they were trying to breed submissiveness in people, you know, and I don't think they achieved it necessarily, but you know, there's still a lot of native blood out there and all that. But you know, when you wipe out a whole island, let's say, like you know, Hispaniola, you wipe out the whole island, you start fresh. And you're just buying all the weakest people from West Africa who just got sold from the kingdom of West Africa, and you start, you know, intermixing like maybe some indigenous people, not even the indigenous people. Maybe you grab some freaking South Asia people, you mix that in, and then you mix your own blood in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and then what you do is you grab the strongest male, but you know, like he's dumb as rocks. And you freaking, you know, just genetically is just a dumber guy or something. Like you don't want the smart one breeding, you want the dumb one.
You're right, man. We're just like
you
dogs.
Just do this for these 400
dogs and shit.
Yeah, and I understand that. I am actually going to close it here by saying, even though they tried to do that, I still see the natural element in humans. Like when they go outside and they see nature, there is still a longing for freedom.
I mean, but
here's
the thing, right? Like, I agree with you, but there's like, for example, my friends in Peru. He's with Peruvian woman, has baby with her, all that. They in Peru, the whole lockdown thing, they're cool with it.
I'm not
hardcore lockdown. They ain't nobody's worried about it. Like everybody's just cool with it.
I'm not saying it's the same. It's definitely different amongst cultures and
like
ideas.
If you look at Europe, Germans out in the fucking streets, Italians out in the streets. Let us out, let us out, let us out. The media don't cover it, but that's happening. Hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just end by saying, you know, we talked about a lot of different solutions, but yeah, we need an army of Spike Cohens, Amashes, Rand Pauls, Ron Pauls. We need to take it. We need to get involved some way, either run or talk to people or knock on doors or do something. Yeah, the media is powerful. We just have to work with what we got. I don't have a solution. And then if that doesn't work for you, find institutions that will sue governments, that will counter governments. But don't be under any illusion what happened is, you know, just, you know, that's weird. Where did it come from? I do understand why it happened. Don't have to say yes or no to it, but here are some solutions that we can do. And yeah, through cultures, it has been possible to create decentralized societies. I think it'd even be interesting now to see what a modern one would look like. So on that note, I want to close Liberty and Consciousness. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kareem Mays with my hosts Jacob Rosser and Max Henry. We'll see you all later. Stay free.
Peace. Well, I think I'll just go ahead.